Sandra all the time is here with the cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. So tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama, to call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra.
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth-telling, more problem-solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. Buenos dias, clase.
Big news. I have some important news for you. Interesting. Big news. I have some important news for you. Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
Cayman's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
Yes, good morning. How are you?
We are
Buenos dias.
good.
Awesome.
I think we got our internet sorted, so let's see how it goes.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yeah.
Good news. This is good
The
news.
simple things in life.
Well, internet is not simple, but it's much needed. So good morning to everyone. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday. So breaking news this morning.
Yeah.
CMR brought it to you first. You guys heard it here yesterday afternoon. There's a vessel that landed in Cayman Brac with some stowaways, some illegal migrants on the vessel. So we have now gotten official confirmation that several Africans and I understand from my sources, 2 Englishmen have arrived without proper authorization. So according to CBC, there was 3 adult males, 1 adult female, and a female infant on board.
Wow.
So they attended the scene. Department of Children and Family Services was engaged, and all persons are now in police or CBC custody, I should say.
So
Property.
where did they come from?
Well, my sources say Ethiopia and a couple Englishmen.
On a boat? Like what
Couple
kind of boat?
Englishmen.
Yes, it's human
Did they pick them
trafficking.
up on their human trafficking?
Yes, this is a suspected case of human trafficking.
Wow.
To go where?
Anywhere but where they're coming from, I suppose. It is interesting because just on Friday, we were having a really hot and heated discussion about the need for a proper detention center. And there were a lot of people who were making it about the Cubans saying, we don't need that. And I said, hold on a second. Other illegal migrants will soon be coming. And sure enough, just a couple days later,
Sandy was right.
we call it goat mouth in the Caribbean.
Goat
All
mouth?
right. Goat mouth.
What's goat mouth?
You haven't heard of goat mouth?
Well,
No.
enlighten me.
Oh,
Us.
okay.
All 14 years. No.
So basically what it means is it's like, well, normally it's associated with bad luck. So it's not normally a good thing but it's where someone predicts or expresses an outcome of something in the future. So like I say something and then it comes true the next day or a couple. Yeah. So it's a
Premonition.
yes, but it's normally not in a positive way. So
Right,
people
it'd
say,
be-
well, you got goat mouth, you know.
Well,
There you go. So
All
that,
right.
they need to put that in the Cayman exam now. Now that everybody knows the answer, you can at least get one question right.
thanks
Okay.
for that.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
There you go.
Absolutely. We can listen. We can get you guys well versed in some Caymanian colloquialism. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So this is an interesting regional story that's a little bit bizarre and weird all at the same time. Former Bermuda, what's his name? Premier. He is now 88 years old, Sir John Swan. Thinking he's probably a little bit too old. But anyway, he has indicated that, they're talking about the minimum wage, worsening the cost of living for British overseas territories. And he has spoken out against the government's decision to grant a minimum wage to all workers, including foreign workers. He's saying that, yes, there should be a minimum wage, but it should only be given to Bermudians. Why give it to foreigners too, he says, and they send their money home. It's kind of crazy that people think this way, but there you have it. He is 88 years old after all. He's actually running for politics again. So Bermuda, let's see if they're going to elect him to public office with that sort of rhetoric. But there you go. He's saying, let's not apply the minimum wage to everyone. Pretty wild.
Yeah.
All right. A woman gets 8 months in prison for witness tampering. Her name is Janelle Laverne Greenwood, age 48. She was sentenced to 8 months in jail. She had received a suspended sentence after stabbing her husband in the neck, but was not so lucky when she was sentenced for witness tampering in relation to the matter. Following a trial last year, Greenwood and Roger Patrick McLaughlin were convicted of attempting to obstruct the course of justice and conspiracy to obstruct the course of justice. McLaughlin was sentenced to 6 months, suspended for 2 years, and he was ordered to complete 100 hours of community service. However, Greenwood will be spending her time in jail because she was already on a suspended sentence. So after domestic abuse, domestic incident, she decided that she would attempt to convince jurors to let her go. And this is a big no, you don't do that. She was attempting to intimidate them. Wow, this is pretty crazy. You know, there's another case a couple weeks ago that we talked about where that's an allegation in the FIFA matter as well. I'm really shocked that people would be so bold to try to intimidate jurors. I mean, I know it's a small jurisdiction, it's a small country, and I suppose people think that they can like call up their friends who are on a jury and be like, hey, you better return a certain verdict. But wow, that's a big no-no, and you will definitely go in jail for that sort of thing. The court should be,
yeah, it's not good. I still think that it should be the jurors can't see who it is, and the people can't see who the jurors are.
Should
and
be
then,
hidden. Their faces.
Yeah, everyone should be
Of the
hidden.
jurors.
Yeah, so it can be a non-bias. You just listen to the
I
arguments.
was thinking about. I thought about that the
Yeah.
other day.
I
as well.
mean, you need jurors to be able to see the people, because a lot of times when you return a verdict, body language is very, very important. You know what I mean? So you can't just hear somebody.
Maybe one juror gets to see someone.
Maybe the defendant gets blindfolded.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, there you go.
Let me give a shameless plug here for the judiciary, but this is also one of the reasons why they say that they need a proper custom built, or purpose built, I should say, courts, because it's difficult to not pass jurors, even as defendants. And I go there all the time. I see trials. I pass jurors on the outside. There's no sequestering of jurors in this jurisdiction. There's no proper, they have a jury room, but once they come out of that, they're mingling with everybody. So I do believe that this could be largely addressed with a modern purpose-built facility, because people just have easy access to jurors, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, they get very, very strict instructions from judges all the time. Don't discuss it. Don't watch any media stories about it. Don't talk to your family members about it, nothing. And then to think that the witnesses or defendants in cases.
Don't listen to Sandy on Bobo.
Yeah, don't listen to Sandy if she might be talking about it. But yeah, just don't tamper with the jury, because you'll go to jail. You'll definitely see some jail time for that. Anyway, let me see if I got any good news for you this morning. What a hot mess.
I think we're on that. That's good. We got to run.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good one.
We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Internet looking good. That's the good news this morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm actually going to come off of my Wi-Fi feed here. Just make sure that we are crisp. We're going to have a crisp connection this morning. Good morning to Instagram. Where's all the Instagram people? Y'all don't want to hear about Auntie Sandy's goat matawa? All right, let me clean off my glasses so I can see y'all properly. Yes, good morning. Hello, chillin'. What's going on? Y'all are chilling like a villain. Everybody's in class. I told y'all to show up to class early this morning because we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about that case, the jury tampering case, a little bit later on. And but let's start off first. Give me 1 second here. We're gonna grab the links. Hold on, my WhatsApp people. Give me 1 quick second. Yes, I need chill. Okay, give me 1 second. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Oh my goodness. Hi. All right. So we are live on YouTube. Let me grab the YouTube link for everyone. Let me mute that. Hold on, folks. And then I need to open this. Oh, there we go. There we are. No name tags either on Black Collar. What is that about? On Black Collar? What Black Collar? Okay, and then we're gonna do the Facebook link. Let me just refresh this. So we're gonna get started here now. Thank you very, very much. Just looking at my other monitor on this side. Okay, so I suspect that most of you in class know what goat mouth is. Yes, does anybody not know? Y'all Caribbean people, you better know what goat mouth is. Speaking of which, y'all need to have some, those of you who didn't know this morning, who were listening, who happen to be Caymanians now, and you still didn't know what it was, y'all need more Caymanian friends. I'm just saying. You need to hang out with a few local people, honey child. Ring me. Right. So, anybody else has no clue what goat mouth is? We're all on the same page, right? I've always been told I have a goat mouth, honey child, from a very, very long time. And I have actually had instances where I have some very scary premonitions. Like I have had detailed things happen to me that I cannot explain, that I have been able to predict. I don't know if my girlfriend Mal is listening to the show this morning, but she will recall one, maybe, because she's got a horrible memory. Can I tell y'all? Some of my friends have really bad memories. They don't remember nothing. I'd be like, remember when I said da 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 da? And they're like, nope, don't remember that. I'm like, wow. What on earth am I wasting my goat mouth for? I'll be trying to help y'all. There was one instance with another friend who I said to them, they were in a relationship. And I said, do yourself a favor and get rid of this man. I said, trust me. They were making efforts to have a baby. And I said, get rid of him and your baby will come. And I don't want to go into too many details, but trust me, it happened. Mm-hmm. It was after trying for a long time. I said, I don't know how to explain it. If you have a goat mouth or you have premonitions, sometimes it's not something you can necessarily explain. Like for me, there's no process to it, but, I said, get rid of him and your baby will come. He is blocking your blessing. And, when it comes to relationships, I try not to tell my friends anything because it's often very, very difficult because people want to shoot the messenger. So I'm like, oh. So sometimes I just sit back and make observations and just don't say nothing. But there are people who they're energy vampires and they have the ability to block your blessings in life. And if you stay with those people, I'm telling you that nothing good will come in your life because they are literally blocking your blessings. Like you just need to get rid of that bad energy. So there was another instance. I'm going to give y'all a couple examples. I know y'all sitting here going, Sandy, I got no goat mouth. All right. There's a whole story around my own pregnancy and dreaming about it and having other people actually quite coincidentally contact me about their dreams and certain things happening that sort of predicted that whole situation. There is one that happened to me in high school that was very, 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 very detailed and extremely bizarre. I'll tell you guys the details of that one. There's one where I was telling about Melanie and I were on the squash court one morning, and I got a phone call from someone who was up in their feelings about a situation. And so they were going off on me, cursing, carrying on. I said to them, I said, very, very calmly, these things always happen in a very calm manner, right? I said, instead of you calling me this morning, cursing and carrying on like a fool, what you should be doing is getting you and the other person, because they were calling about some situation with a guy. And I said, what the two of you need to be doing is you need to be on your knees today, praying to God for a miracle because he's on death's door. That's what you should be doing instead of calling me at 6:30 in the morning when I'm on the squash court. You should be praying for a miracle today. Within 24 hours, unfortunately, the person passed away, had a massive heart attack and died. And the people who were familiar with that story will know that to this day, that person thinks that I somehow, some voodoo priestess and did something to this guy to make him have a heart attack. Of course not. And I can't explain it to you why those words came out of my mouth because they're never words that I think about. They are it just comes and you just have to understand how it works. And unfortunately, he was dead within 24 hours. There's an incident when I was in university with, and there's smaller instances of stuff, but these are some of the major ones that are coming to my mind. I was with my boyfriend, Prakash at the time, and we had gone to a jewelry store and they had like a grand opening kind of thing. And so they had a bowl full of cubic zirconias and 1 diamond. And so you put your thing in there, your finger in there. And you could pick out one of the precious stones or whatever. And then you put your, they would test it to see if it was a diamond. So it was a whole bowl full. There was only 1 diamond. And, you know, you could then win this diamond. So as they were taking the bowl around to people, there's like a huge line of people. Everybody was taking out, nope, not the one. So when it came to me, I literally just stuck my finger in there, twirled it around. I said to Prakash, I said, oh, yes, I'm going to win this diamond. Watch and see. Just like that. Just very nonchalant, whatever. Took it out. He was like, yeah, right, whatever. Took it out. They tested it. Boom. Oh my gosh, you're the winner. It happens like that all the time. Like literally, I'll be sitting at home and I'll say to somebody, oh my gosh, you know, I haven't, one time this happened with Crosby Solomon. Crosby isn't somebody that I talk to all the time. You know, I see him, I hail him up, whatever. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I haven't heard from Crosby in a really long time. Within 2 minutes, my phone rings and guess who it is? It's Crosby Solomon. Just the most random, because he's not someone who you could say would call me often, or there's no rhyme or reason why I would have any inclination that he would be calling me. And so these types of things have always kind of happened to me throughout my life. And the one in high school, which was very bizarre, came in the form of actually a dream. And so I used to have premonitions a lot with my aunt, Aunt Lottie. I was very, very connected to her in that way. But it was only with stuff like, for the most part, like I knew, sometimes I would know like when she wasn't feeling well and stuff, but I always knew the moment she found out something that I was going to get in trouble for. So I remember I would be in church or I would be anywhere. And the exact moment she found what I like, okay, I wasn't supposed to be sneaking chocolates in my room or whatever, right? And so, you know, as kids, you do it anyway. And then you hide it in different places thinking, oh, they'll never find it. And I would be sitting in church and all of a sudden, boom, I was like, oh, she just found it. And when I get home from church, I'm going to be in so much trouble. And sure enough, I'd get home, she'd be like, why is this candy wrapper in your, and I was like, oh man, those darn Snickers. So, you know, has happened to me a lot. And I kind of feel like if I tapped into it a bit more, even if I like meditated and did other stuff, I could really release this. Because I do think for a lot of people, it is a gift to be able to have a bit of a sixth sense about things and whatever. I've never really explored it, but I thought that if I explored it, it could definitely be something that would develop into something more. So when I was in high school, I lost my lock to my locker. And so it was like the whole semester, I couldn't find it. And, you know, there comes a time when the semester's up, you're going to pay for the lock if you can't find it. So I was like, oh, whatever. So I remember having this extremely vivid dream about finding it. And it was bizarre and odd how it was found. So I had Spanish for first class. And I'll never forget, there was a girl in my Spanish class. Her name was Cecilia Garin, right? She was actually Spanish. I don't know why she's taking Spanish, but it was an easy A for her. Really, really smart young lady. She actually went on to become a dentist in the military, in the US military and stuff like that. I don't know what she's doing now. This was so long ago. But, you know, she had not too long come from, I think she was from, I don't know, one of those countries, like maybe Peru or Uruguay or Paraguay, or one was somewhere in there. Maybe she was Peruvian. I can't remember exactly where. But, you know, I was like one of her friends. She had not long migrated and she was trying to learn English. And, you know, obviously I was in Spanish class trying to learn Spanish. So she was in Spanish class, which is, like I said, kind of weird for me, but whatever. So there was in Spanish class, there was a morning segment where we had to speak in Spanish. So we had like time where we could just converse with our friends, but that conversation had to be in Spanish. So you couldn't speak to your friend in English. So I remember getting to first period, And I was talking to her and I was trying to explain to her in Spanish this dream. Of course, I didn't have all the words. And I was like, oh my God, So she was like, wait until after class. Let's talk about something easier. And then we actually had PE together as well. So then I explained to her the dream. I said, in the dream, I went into the locker room. And what would happen is when people would lose their locks, there was a gate kind of at the front of the locker room. Everybody would put the locks there, just close them. So if you dropped your lock or they found it, they didn't know who it belonged to, they would put it all in the gate. So in the dream, I went through and I checked the entire gate. That wasn't it. Then I went past that area and I remember this locker room so vividly to this day. It is just very, very bizarre. Her certain memories are like embedded in your head. And so, we would walk in and then there was different lanes of lockers, right? So in the dream, my locker would have been like in one area, but I went all the way to the last lane. There were showers there against the wall and then lockers like on the left side. So I walked down there and somehow I managed to get on the top of the lockers. And there were 3 locks there. And I opened every single one. And then the third one, I clicked it and that was mine. So she was like, when we had PE, she said to me, she said, Sandy, she said, let's follow your dream. Let's do what your dream said. And I was like, it's just a dream. Like, it was just weird, whatever. She's like, no, let's do it. So I said, okay. So we go in, we check all the locks on the grill where people used to put them. None of those was mine. I'm still like, okay, whatever. So we go down to the shower area now. And I was looking at it. I'm like, well, how did I get up here? Like, I don't know, I'm not that tall. I can't just climb up a set of lockers. I was like, how did I get in there? And she kind of like looks around and she sees a chair in one of the showers, right? Which normally that chair wouldn't even have been there. Like, we don't even know where that chair came from. So she's like, oh, let's use this chair. And sure enough, I took out the chair. I stood up on the chair and there was 3 locks there. Now, this is where now I'm starting to get like the hair on the back of my neck is starting to stand up a little bit. And I'm starting to feel like, okay, this is really weird. Like in my dream, there was 3 locks. I'm like, this is a little bit weird now. Okay. So I was like, all right, still not convinced of anything. So I start opening up the locks and did the first one, did my combination, you go right, left, right, pull it, right, left, right, pull it. Nope, nothing. The third one, combination, right, left, right, pull it, and it opens. I literally almost fell off the chair. Like, for real. I was like, what just happened? Like, it was my dream, verbatim, step for step, exactly what happened. And she just like looked at me and we were both like, oh my God, what just happened? That was just like so weird and so random. And I found my lock and I didn't have to pay for the lock. And to this day, this is one of those things that has really stood out as being just very, very bizarre. Mm-hmm. So, I think some people are gifted with premonitions about different things. Some people, they say they're clairvoyant or whatever. I don't knock any of that stuff because I do think that that these things sometimes can happen. They're completely unexplainable. I don't know how to tell you that I dreamt about something and it happened exactly as I dreamt about it. So yeah. All right. Let's get to the goat mouth segment of the day. Okay. Okay. I don't know. This is a weird question. All right. So on let me see if I'm trying to get this clip from Kevin. All right. So on Friday, we were talking about some very emotive things. Junior says, Sandy, give me some cash pot numbers. Speaking of cash pot, and I'm gonna put it's weird how it happens. Like I said, it's not something you can like contrive in a way. But I actually have I don't want to name it. I don't want to call this whatever. But I actually believe that one day I'm actually going to win the lottery. Don't ask me how I know this or how I feel about it, but one day I'm going to win the lottery, and it's going to be what it is. And I'm just going to have to deal with having millions of dollars all of a sudden. So anyway. All right. So, right. So there was a segment, and we're going to find the clip, but there was a segment on Friday. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to stay out of court, you might want to stay the Florida or Colorado or New York lottery.
Well, we don't have a lottery in Cayman that would be paying millions of dollars. Not that I'm aware of. I mean,
yeah.
I don't gamble, but yes.
Yeah.
American lottery.
Yeah. You remember how they did a little twist on something called certificates?
And say that again?
Remember how they twisted your certificates?
Oh, my goodness.
Court over it.
Yeah. Well, they still lost, but
yeah, but don't give them any ammunition.
Stephanie says, I mean, saying that you're going to do something doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you can't get charged for saying you're going to do something unless there's a very limited set of circumstances where that would be an offense, probably. I could think of.
Well, I wouldn't take chances with people who want you gone.
Mm-hmm.
But you have this special gift on the lottery.
I mean, I don't know if it's a gift or a curse or what, but it's something.
Okay, well, we need to try to figure out what it is, because things get tough around here. All right, later.
Thanks, my dear. All right. Okay. So Stephanie says, yes, it's a gift. Sometimes it can also be a curse. I mean, it is what it is. Morning, Lavana. Good morning, KK. What Junior say? Sandy used to go down Buster Solomon store back in the day. What was going on at Buster Solomon store? I have no idea. Damien says clairvoyant. I think clairvoyant is a little bit different, but you know, I guess these things are connected in a way. Junior says I need to go on The Price is Right. Oh my goodness. So listen, Catherine says you're a witch like my mom used to be, always foretelling, laughing out loud. Lord Jesus, what a mess. Listen, some of y'all are listening to me this morning, and I want to tell you that you need to look at the people in your life. Remove certain people from your life. I am telling you, there's a few people that I know that you need to, and you know what? People think that they can, whoever is listening to this program this morning, you'll know if this is relevant to you, but some of you think that you can have people in your life like on the outskirts. Like, oh, I'm not in a relationship with them, but I'm still going to have them hanging around and we're still friends. Friendly, friendish, whatever. Listen to me very, very carefully. Mm-hmm. You have to make a clean cut. There should be no half foot in and half foot out sort of a situation if you want some positivity to start coming into your life. Cut people. You need to get rid of people. Don't call them. Don't have them call you. Block their number if you have to. If they send you gifts, don't allow those gifts to even come inside of your house. Return to sender. Have no communication with people, certain people. Okay? They've wasted years off of your life. and it's time for you to make a clean cut. Take it. You know who it's for. If you're listening this morning and this applies to you, take it from Auntie Sandy. You need to make some changes, and you need to make sure that the change is a clear and decisive change and not back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right. I had a bizarre dream last night too, but I can't tell you all about that one. A lot of my dreams I cannot share. Anyway, Boosie. Oh, not Bussy. Sorry. See, I've never even been to Boosie's shop, so I couldn't tell you nothing about that, honey child. Sorry. Was that where they were selling numbers? Oh, well, I have no clue. Can't tell you. Never been there. So listen, on Friday, we had a very interesting discussion, and we were talking about a number of different things about the migrant situation, Cuban nationals in particular. And I said to you guys, Kevin's trying to find the clip for me, but I said to you guys very, very clearly, I said, you know, you guys are hyper focusing on the Cubans. Yes. And I said, listen to me. This isn't, I want y'all to step back for a minute and contemplate that there is a bigger discussion here that we need to have about why there is good justification for a detention center. I said, forget the Cubans. You know, go the Cubans, send them back. I said, Caymanians, please listen to me. I understand that you guys are up in your feelings, right? I get it. But I want y'all to put aside the Cuban nationals for a second. I even gave an example of how the Haitians could be here on a boat. Anybody can come into your country as illegal migrants. And I said, the day is going to come when this is going to happen. Yes. And where are you going to be housing these people? You don't know who they are, right? And so, not having a proper purpose-built facility is going to be to our detriment, because you can't even secure people properly if you don't have a proper facility. Now, y'all thinking that a detention center is some luxury hotel. Well, why be spending $2 million on this when Caymanians starving? There's certain things, folks, that you got to spend money on. Let's be very, very clear. Just like a prison. If your prison isn't secured and you have people running all over the place, in and out of prison, murdering people, murdering your family members, it's only when something like that happens that y'all wake up and, oh my God, wow, we can't have them walking around cleaning up the roadside because they can't be properly secured. Because again, the prison officers probably aren't paying that much attention. They're letting them go out there and shoot people. Killing, the young lady on the farm. These are the types of things that should have never happened. There's too much slackness, first of all, that happens in Cayman. And y'all don't think about something until after the fact. Oh, well, that my cousin in prison, Yeah, your cousin's in prison because he's not a law-abiding person. And if they're running drugs and they're involved in all kind of activity, even within the prison, yes, and you can't secure people properly, what do you think is going to be the outcome? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
Not bad. How are you?
Right. Quick question. Few days ago, I understood that there were like 4 Cubans or 5 Cubans were up at East End. I was watching your show when you showed it, and you said that they didn't want to stop in Cayman and were going back out. I didn't get the full story of it, but and then you were saying a few days ago as well that once they're in our waters, we cannot allow them to leave. So I'm a bit kind of confused. I don't know if
it's
I
a
don't know.
question of conditions of their vessel, for example. But once they come ashore, so let me perhaps clarify this. It's not so much about the waters, but once they come ashore, and ultimately it is a decision for them, but it is also a decision for our, I'm assuming it's CBC agency. And we're going to get some clarification on this directly from CBC. But they're not supposed to allow a vessel to continue if it's not seaworthy. And I've never seen, in my opinion, a Cuban vessel that is seaworthy. I mean, I don't know if you saw the video of them pedaling off with their little, I don't know what they were using as oars, but nobody in their right mind could say that that was a seaworthy vessel.
Yeah,
but we
but,
allowed them to leave. I don't know where they ended up or what happened to them.
Yeah, but another thing is that I know these that are here, like permanently for a while, are communicating with those back over in Cuba. I got good information on that. But another thing I was saying, Cayman government should or needs to get a vessel, one or two, just say one, because they're expensive, to patrol beyond, like, just off of the 12-mile bank area. In other words, that they do not have to come into our waters when they're out there.
This is a question I will actually I'm interviewing CBC tomorrow. And this is a question that I'm going to ask them, because I'm not so sure that again, if a vessel is in distress, we can certainly offer assistance. I don't think that we can go into international waters and try to intercept people otherwise, because that's not our.
Well, what I'm saying, they don't allow them to come in.
How would you not allow them to come in, though? If you're in international waters, what would you?
No, what I'm saying, once we're in our range, the Cayman Islands range, don't allow them to come in to our area. That way they didn't keep them off. But you were saying the other day, once they're in our areas, we cannot allow them to leave. So we can need to find out that from the CB too. So
yeah, so it does come down to a question of whether or not their vessel is seaworthy. And I was reading actually from a document which the Human Rights Committee had done up, basically saying that they have had concerns about whether or not we have allowed, our government agencies have allowed people to continue on their journey that are not, the vessels are not seaworthy. And then they talked about in law what is considered a seaworthy vessel. And as you guys will recall from Friday's show, I named out a number of different things like life vests on board and all this kind of stuff. And there has never been a single Cuban vessel that has met the criteria for being seaworthy. So I suppose we do it, and we will certainly take a chance in doing so until the one day something happens. So, but let me, So I'm actually messaging someone who'd be in the know about this now, and I'm going to see if they're able to give us a response. And I'm going to talk about the vessel situation here in a second as well, because someone did bring it up earlier. But listen, it doesn't matter. To be clear, it does not matter whether they're here. I see your hand like, 3 to 4 days, send them back. It doesn't matter how long they're here. You do understand that something can happen in a split second. So when I got the information yesterday that we had some illegal migrants, Ethiopians is what I was told, who were, washing up on our shores, or who not washing up, they came in on a yacht and they were hiding in the engine room and hiding in different places. And the person said, their source said that one or two might have even gotten off of the vessel. and now roaming around Cayman Brac. Y'all fail to understand. A week, 4 days, 5 days, you still need to have a proper detention facility. I don't know why we're arguing about this. I don't know why this is a point of contention, right? Yes, we will send people back. There is a process to doing that. My understanding is these people have no identification documents. So, Johan, where are you sending them to? It's going to take time, just like we did when the remember when the Afghanis came on board? It is going to take time to figure out who these people are, identify what country they're really from, and take it from there. All right, we got some breaking news this morning. Hold on, honey chow. Oh, Lord, there's never a dull moment in the Cayman Islands. Never a dull moment. This is happening right now at the Hurley's roundabout. If you're still in traffic this morning, this might explain part of the reason why. And now you got yourselves a situation. Look at this. Lord have mercy. Yeah. Another overturned vehicle. Wowee. So this is the Hurley's roundabout right now. Thank you so much to that astute roving reporter who has sent this very good photo. Some of y'all need to take some lessons now because y'all be sending CMR video and footage that I can't even tell what's going on in it. This is a very clear photo. We have a Toyota hybrid vehicle in an accident with only God knows what that other one is. What is with the vehicles rolling over all the time now? It's crazy. Are they easier to flip than before? Like what's going on? I don't know. Anyway, if you are anywhere near Hurley's roundabout, which is a very, very dangerous intersection. I am so sick and tired of this intersection. I wish they could do something about it. I see people, and I'm still waiting on them to close off access like they said they were going to do, and then they got scared because everybody in Grand Harbor was all upset. Someone is going to lose their life, and I hate to say this because, again, here I go with my goat mouth, but someone is going to lose their life at that intersection before they decide to actually do something about it. I see the most ridiculous driving at that intersection. People coming out of the first entrance there to the grocery store, and they go straight across 3-4 lanes of traffic in a roundabout to get all the way over immediately to be able to turn to go to South Sound or to go back on Crew Road. That is the worst road design idea I have ever seen. And trust me, the minister and the NRA and everybody else who have cowtailed to the people living in that area and not did what they know they need to do from a road perspective and close that off where people can't exit from that one. They have to go down and back up. You are going to have somebody's life on your hands. You hear me? I'm not saying no more about it, but it is only a matter of time before it happens. People do not use common sense when they drive. And so I think that true to form, there are times when you have to force people to do certain things in order to be safe on the roadways. And this is one of those things, folks. Right? Close that intersection off. And people do it in like 5 o'clock rush hour. They do it any time of the day. Every time I come through that intersection, I'm just like, oh my God. Let me just, hold the steering wheel hard and try to focus. Because here we go. Here comes some idiot as I'm coming from Crew Road who's going to cut right in front of you and go straight across 4 or 5 lanes of traffic. I've never seen anything like it in my life. What is wrong with you people? Just go down and back up. It's not worth your life. I can tell you that much. Anyway, this is what's happening this morning. All right. I'm not saying nothing else because if it happens tomorrow, then y'all gonna be blaming me and my goat mad again. Drive carefully, folks. Try to use some common sense on the roadway. Common sense seems to be in short supply, but there you have it. Hurley's roundabout this morning. All right. Hopefully nobody's injured in this particular incident. So this is westbound. Obviously, expect some delays. Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay, folks. So, CBC eventually confirmed, you know, and when we hear stuff like this, of course, we start immediately trying to ascertain, you know, it's always a rumor. Like I tell people, this is how we do it here. Pay attention. It's always a rumor on the Mall Road until we can, official sources have verified it. Okay. So official sources sometimes take a while because they got to do whatever to write 2 lines. And so they eventually confirmed that, yes, some stowaways. And the thing about this situation, quite frankly, is these people are this is human trafficking. So I want to be very clear about this. Now, I'm not so sure that Caymanians have a real fix on the world of human trafficking and that we really understand what is going on here, right? I mean, sometimes these people don't even know where they're going or where they're going to end up. It becomes a case of, I just need to get away from where I am. Sometimes they pay people for a voyage and they might say, oh, we're trying to get to America, and they end up in Cayman. This may or may not be their intended destination. We don't know. There's also concerns about people being forced into human trafficking. So it's not like they themselves are trying to go anywhere. They might have been kidnapped, put on a vessel, says, you know, you're going to go to this country, that country. They're sold into sex trades all over the world. There's a whole slew of evidence and documentaries and all sorts of stuff out there where people are promised a better life and they're taken to places and then they are put into sex trades. There's a whole thing in Asian countries, India, for example. Africans are trafficked to India, and then they become Nigerians and stuff. There's a whole subculture where they are forced into a sex trade life in India. And of course, their Nigerian people are the ones who are trafficking them in doing this. They take away their passports, and then they tell them, you know, they say it's going to be $2,500 voyage to get you here. What they end up doing is these people have no money. They have nothing. So they think, okay, in a year, I can work, make $2,500 and pay off this debt. The traffickers ensure that you never pay off the debt because they add all sorts of additional fees. Like, oh, well, now I have to feed you and I have to provide housing for you so you're not on the streets. That's going to be added to the cost of your voyage. And so the cost keeps going up exponentially all the time. Yeah. And so it is a conning way of keeping people enslaved. And oftentimes the underbelly of it is indeed the sex trade. And it happens all over the world. Dubai, there's a whole underbelly of stuff happening in Dubai with Asian workers. So as the world would have it, as the world turns, you know, trafficking is something that is real. It's happening everywhere in the world, practically. It happens in the Caribbean. And so Cayman has to have a response. We have to have a plan of action. And our plan of action can't be like, just send it back, just send it back. Okay. They come here with no identification, no ID. We have no clue who they are. For every single one of you who like a post that says, just send them back, we don't want them here, I'm going to invite you to return to history and have a look at what happened with those Afghan, we eventually figured out they were Afghanis, nationals that came here to our shores by way of, where did they come? They came through, I believe they came through Jamaica, right? Tell me how easy it was to send them back or to even identify initially who they were. Good morning, caller.
Morning, how's it, Sandy? It's Johan. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Let me try and redirect your simple mind on something. If people come in off of a boat and they deliberately...
Johan.
Hold on. No, let me finish.
No.
If anybody comes in off of
Hello, sir?
It's called a talk show, so let me talk.
No, but you... Okay, all right. If you're not going to listen to me, you're going to get hung up on this morning. So I'm going to suggest you listen. Okay? What you will not do on the program this morning, let's be very, very clear, is you're not going to call my show and insult me talking about I have a simple mind, because that's when you're going to get disconnected and you're going to get blocked from the program. So might I encourage you?
If that gets you off, you're going to do what you need to do. I'm making the point about identification. Because if people come in on a boat,
you don't have to insult people just because people are not going to agree with your position.
You don't need to agree with me. You
don't need to be insulting people. What you need to do this morning is apologize for the insult, and then we can move on.
What insult? I haven't insulted you yet. I'm making the point about if people show up on a boat.
When you tell somebody that I'm going to help you with your simple mind this morning, you don't think that that's an insult?
I meant simple point. If I said simple
well, that's
mind,
not what you said.
It was a simple.
So say what you mean.
Point. You go through and then let me make my point. Go ahead.
You need to apologize for saying simple minds, because you surely were not talking to me this morning.
I just finished saying to you, I meant a simple point.
But that's not an apology. You need to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy. I'm not saying that you have a simple mind."
I'm sorry, Miss Sandy. I'm sorry, Miss Sandy. You don't have a simple mind. And I'm sorry for hurting your feelings this morning.
You're not hurting my feelings, but you're also not going to insult me on this program. Go on.
Let me know when I can talk.
You can talk. Go on.
Okay. If you have me, you, Marlon, Denny, 10 people show up in a raft on a boat somewhere, and we don't have any identification, but we identify ourselves as Caymanian nationals or wherever we're from. Logic dictates that they're fleeing a country. If everybody speaks Spanish, if everybody's telling you that they're from Cuba, if everybody effectively has all of the characteristics and they're telling you where they're coming from, the authorities more than likely will believe and make an inquiry to that country that they're fleeing to say, we found Denny, Johan, Sandra, Marlon, blah, blah, blah. They're on a boat. They don't have any ID, so on and so forth, correct? Is that part of the process?
Yes.
Okay. If anybody shows up in the Cayman Islands and lies about who they are, where they're from, or anything that represents a red flag to us as a country, as much as we might have a lot of liberal people that feel bad for those in the plight that they've left, how can you incorporate individuals that will lie out the gate and then accommodate them, allow them to apply for asylum when they are merely economic migrants and not political refugees or not being persecuted politically? But if you start off with a lie from the beginning, you're telling me that in good conscience, it's all right for us as a country to take on board, because there's going to be a floodgate that happens where Cayman is easy to get to. The people that come here obviously are working with people who are involved in some form of human trafficking or trying to get from point A to probably the US or Honduras or Mexico or something like that. So there's an organized effort to get them to come into Cayman, where we make it really easy for them to stay. And here's the thing. If you show up and you start off on a lie, why should we as a country reward you, look after you, protect you, provide for you when you have demonstrated you are not as conscientious or as law-abiding as you should be? Yet, we have multi-generational Caymanians for decades that are living in squalor, that are living below the poverty line. And I don't see CMR, Radio Cayman, CNN, I don't see anybody going to do videos with them to find out, why are you struggling, Mr. Ebanks? Why are you struggling, Mrs. Smith? Why are you struggling, whoever you are? And then we're going to go, in order to appease ourselves, we're going to go build a facility for, let's say it's 2.5. So anything the government builds, not going to be 2.5, so you can add to that. My point is, it doesn't matter what the number is. If you show up here based on a lie, if you show up here with ill intentions, if you are desperate to get to the US, surely there must be somebody back home or somebody that helped put you on that boat for you to gain assistance from, to go where you need to go. But you cannot stay and become part of the Cayman fabric and get asylum, political asylum in particular, when life in Cuba might be bad, but it is nothing like how it was in the city in particular. Giving benefits to people who misrepresent their life story, deliberately travel with no identification. And we're going to believe when Cuba says, well, we can't tell if they're Cuban or not. If you can't tell if a person is a Cuban national, there's something wrong with that. Because somebody at customs, CBC, immigration will be able to know every single Caymanian that is born in the Cayman Islands, because they'll be registered and born in the Cayman Islands, or if they have status, or if they have whatever their immigration status is. So all I'm saying is the bleeding heart liberal mindset, I get, but you cannot trust people that lie to you out the gate, because then you're going to build a country where everybody shows up here and Caymanians are ready. We represent at a maximum, 25,000 people are Caymanians. And of that 25,000, there are probably 15,000 maximum multi-generational Caymanians. So when you talk about we're becoming a minority in our own country, we're already there.
Can we get you to wrap it up? We're 8 minutes in.
Yes. Yeah. So all I'm saying is the position that you take about we got to help. Yeah, we got to help. We got to help them get back to where they want to be, which is either home or somewhere else, because Cayman cannot afford to accommodate everybody that shows up here on a song and a story. We have people that have Cayman status, PR now, that don't like us, don't respect us, don't integrate with us. Yet we're now going to incorporate people that really and truly have a completely different way of thinking, being, and acting, whilst we're not looking after our own. All right. That is wrong.
Thank you very much.
But
all right. So I'm aware we have a caller, but let me just say this. Some of you are not able to see the forest for the trees. It is a simplistic view to intertwine all of these issues into one when there is a very simple issue here that needs to be understood. So permit me to try to break it down and explain it yet again. Okay? This is very, very simple. You cannot stop illegal migrants from coming to your country. There is a procedure, there is a process in place for what happens once they arrive and what you have to do. This question of, oh, well, we know where they're from because they speak Spanish is a bunch of hogwash. It is ridiculous. There are laws that have got to be followed. So identification, it's like somebody goes to court and says, right, this person stole my car, this person did this. Do you all know that in law, there's a way in which you have to identify the person who you claim did X, Y, and Z? And these things have to meet a particular standard. You can't just say, well, they must be Cuban because they sound like they speak that type of Spanish with that particular accent. So let's just send them back to Cuba. There also is the point that you guys are missing. You can't just send someone to a foreign country and drop them off at their borders and say, here you go, these people are Cuban, take them back. You have to have communication with those governments. And the less willing they are to communicate and cooperate with you, the more of a problem you're going to have sending these people back home. The situation in Jamaica the other day, they were able to expedite that. They have a Jamaica Indian embassy, and they went directly to them. They were able to fast track it because those people were open and communicated, and yes, they could get it done. Stop oversimplifying some of these issues that we are having in this country. The intermingling of these things is very, very dangerous. You mean to tell me that you can't think from both the left side of your brain and the right side of your brain at the same time? We have social issues that need to be addressed, yes. That has nothing to do with the migrant situation, the way in which you guys are trying to link it together. It is easy to say, oh, our government has international obligations that they must ignore and not do the right thing. Y'all wait until that becomes the dialogue in the international community, and y'all will see what that's going to mean for the Cayman Islands. Because we need to take care of our own. We need to take care of our own regardless. If there was not a single migrant coming on shore, there's a real argument that could be made that we've been failing our people before we even had a migrant issue. One of the ways in which we fail our people the most is that we remain ignorant. For whatever reason, we take a lot of pride in saying what people want to hear instead of what they should be hearing. And it's easy to say this stuff. Trust me, the easiest thing in the world to do is to stand up here and say that I'm pro-Caymanian, forget everybody else, screw everybody else. We're only going to think about ourselves and generational Caymanians, blah, 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 blah. That's easy because everybody, like I said, your ministers keep and your elected officials keep getting elected with that rhetoric. And when it comes down to it, they're not even able to do anything about it. Because once again, when they get in there, they recognize that, oh, shoot. Yeah, I did tell the people that we were going to put a moratorium on work permits, but gosh, we can't do that now, can we? Oh, wow, there are laws that dictate what I can and can't do, and I don't actually just jump up and change the laws willy-nilly. Your government has an obligation to the people of the Cayman Islands, but your government also has other obligations that they must fulfill as well. You know, you can do two things at the same time. You can process two different thoughts at the same time. You can budget for this and budget for this as well. The $2 million that they have budgeted for detention center is a drop in the bucket compared to the, what, 15, 20, $35 million that we're spending on NAU. And you guys want to sit down and tell me that Caymanians aren't getting help? Y'all have got to be crazy. There's no way in the world that we're spending that kind of money on NAU and people can say that they're not getting help. There's something else going on there. The wrong kind of people getting NAU. The people who want to sit down and smoke pot all day with a baby in their hand that we can show you videos of, they've been on NAU their entire lives. How about tell them to get off their backside and get to work? So the little old lady in West Bay who has worked hard her entire life, who needs a little government assistance, she can get it instead of some young girl who wants to sit down and have 50 million children. Talk about those issues. Call out your Caymanians for their own slackness. How about that? Y'all want to sit down and breed like I don't know what. Like we need to put a lock on your privates, knowing that you cannot afford children. You're uneducated. You have nothing to offer anybody. Call that out. Y'all want to run for political office? How about we call out some of those people? They're the ones who are slowly deteriorating our community. Why don't you talk about that? Why doesn't that become a hot topic? How we have Caymanians sitting down talking about, oh, they're still making minimum wage. And I said, well, what are you doing to lift yourself out of the minimum wage status? Are you going to school? You're trying to get an education? You're learning a trade? What are you doing for yourself? Oh, no, just raise the minimum wage. You're still going to be, if we raise the minimum wage, you're still going to be in the minimum wage bracket. And the cost of living is going to continually go up. The only way you can raise yourself out of that is by improving your own self. Caller.
Morning.
Morning.
So I just wanted to say, basically what you're saying is that they're missing the point.
Completely.
Like nobody is saying that.
Completely.
Nobody is saying that every single person that comes here, we're going to just allow them to apply and we're going to keep them.
And this has nothing to do with the detention center.
Exactly. Point is, people are going to come here as clearly evidenced, and there's no proper way to securely house them. You can't just send them to prison. You can't send them back if you don't have their identity. Yes, some of them come here with identity, and some of them might say, "Oh yeah, I'm Cuban." But if you have a human trafficker,
you're a government agency.
Threaten people. Exactly. If you have human trafficking happening and they're threatening to kill you or your family if you talk, you're not going to tell them where you're coming from. Like, you have to have a proper place to house them. That has nothing to do with you being pro-Caymanian or not. Like, I have seen poverty in Cayman from Caymanians who are trying to better themselves. I have witnessed it firsthand. I see it all the time. And I am definitely pro-Caymanian. And of course, I want to put Caymanians first. But that don't got nothing to do with nothing. That doesn't have anything to do with the fact that if you're pro-Caymanian, you would want a proper detention center. Because I don't want human traffickers or people that could be murderers, rapists, whoever, just
roaming the streets.
That doesn't make any sense. You can be pro-Caymanian while saying, yes, let's spend $2 million on a proper detention center. To me, that is pro-Caymanian.
Exactly.
I agree. Our government does waste money on things that aren't necessary, like however many millions they spend on that boardwalk in South Sound.
A $50 million school.
Like things like that, of course, but $2 million on a proper detention center to safely keep people that we have no clue who they are off the streets, like that's a no-brainer for me.
Thank you, caller.
Anyways, have a good day.
You too. I don't know, boy. Y'all missing the forest for the trees, that's for sure. This is very, very simple. It's very easy to make this us versus them conversation. And trust me, that is not the point at all. It really isn't. How many millions of dollars have we spent on low income housing? Y'all are sitting back saying that there's nothing in place for Caymanians. What needs to be in place for Caymanians, in my opinion, is a little bit more of the cold, hard truth. Because too many of our people are simply not doing what they need to be doing. I mean, I'm very, very flabbergasted by what is being said. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
Not bad. How you doing?
I'm okay. You know the term Groundhog Day? Oh, honest to God. I was like, I just got in my car and I turned on your program and I'm like, I don't know how many times. And I don't think, I mean, I'm not a genius, rocket scientist. Neither are you, and neither is your previous caller. It's just good, logical, common sense. But why are these things not being implemented? Or we really have to stop being just a reactive society. We have to be beyond that now, because we cannot go around with these rose-colored glasses. None of us, the citizens, the politicians, none of us, the visitors, none of us. Ignorance is not an excuse, and there's nothing. The only people that can say they're ignorant of certain things are people living in completely isolated parts of the world who are living better lives than us. And but we all, if you know better, you must do better.
I mean, you know, the fact that we need to follow certain international laws. I can't. I mean, I got to tell you, Johan, I'm a little bit disappointed in your rhetoric, because as someone who's put themselves out there as a candidate for political office, the fact that you refuse to address and acknowledge that drives a lot of the decisions that we have to make and what we can and can't do is concerning to me. When you get into Parliament, what? I don't understand this.
Well, there goes. That's another. I didn't even know that situation, because I'm just.
This is what somebody said. Somebody said it's hard to believe that Johan has a law degree and doesn't understand our legal obligation as a country. But I guess it's just politics for him. It can't be just politics. There are legal obligations.
But is that not all part of politics? Is enforcing laws and regulations?
Well, I don't know, but I know from a legal perspective, there are things that you have got to do. There is a way of identifying people, and you can't go off of what they have said.
Correct.
Look, this situation now includes an infant. What if this infant was stolen from somebody else along the way? This presents a real problem. What are we going to do with this infant?
But
the infant can't talk. The infant can't tell us anything about, you know, what their situation is, where they really came from. The woman who's there with the infant might not be the infant's mother.
Do people not understand also, or politicians or whomever, understand also that us not following human rights and all of the other protocols established worldwide could adversely affect us?
Of course.
From gaining visas and gaining, different protections that we get,
Listen, the fact that we think that we can ignore international laws, we can ignore human rights obligations, and nothing is going to happen to us, to me is also laughable. Anybody who tells you that and then talks about, we want to put Caymanians first, that's a joke.
Well, people have to really remember that there are times, and I'm sure people have seen it, there are times when I go to point out my little island, my little 3-island nation here of Little Cayman, Grand Cayman, and Cayman Brac on a map, and it's not there because they've only put Jamaica as the dot. We are nothing in the big scheme of things. We are something here for us. We are something here for us, but in the big whole wide world, we are just sometimes a mere dot on the map. So we have to be mindful of that. We celebrated our Emancipation Day, but we have not been fully freed from the mental slavery part yet at all. And we are entrapping ourselves in that. Who's supposed to take accountability to release us from that? Ourselves.
Absolutely.
We cannot go around with blinders on, because these are global, just like global warming, just like all of those things. Look when the U.S. decided, you know what, enough of this tax haven foolishness. We are going in there, and it completely affected our banking system here, and it looked just like that. And it can harm us immigration wise. We have a good connection. I think people are getting, it's harder and harder for people to get visas. I'm not sure about the wave of situation. They will just lock us down.
Okay, thank you, caller.
Have a great day.
Appreciate it. Oops, we missed that call. Call back 936-2626. What a mess. I'm just flabbergasted. You know, I'm going to sit here and tell you that I will advocate for Caymanians 365, 24/7. But at the end of the day, we don't need to confuse issues. I'm advocating for Caymanians when I say that our government needs to follow the laws of this country. Yes, I'm advocating for Caymanians when I say don't put ourselves in a bad light internationally, because it's not going to end well for us. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Auntie Sandy.
Morning, darling.
Well, let's see if I could just make some sense here. Just speak my mind anyhow. I'm not saying that we not got international laws and human rights laws to follow, right? I'm saying they're being glorified. That's all I'm saying. There's always ways, anybody that know the law, there's always ways to get around it and to not do the things the way that is being said that we have to do them. Okay? We do not have to, this is what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. We do not have to spend $2 million or whatever the amount is to build this facility because it ain't a priority at this time. We got these couple, how often does this happen that people come into the country? Other than the Cuban situation, right? But I got to deal with that directly. But with these Africans and stuff, how much it is? 5, 6 Africans. You can't put them in a lockup. We not got detention center yet. We not got
We've already said, caller. Let's try to break it down now. Okay. We have no proper detention facility. Northwood Prison is overpopulated, so we can't send them there. Where they're at now is at the women's prison in the Yard. There is no, let me repeat it so everybody's clear. There is no proper detention center.
I'm saying this is exactly what I'm saying.
So let me ask you a question. If we don't do it now, when does it become a priority?
Okay, go ahead.
No, if we don't do it now, when does it become a priority?
When we could afford it, when the country could afford it, and it's done. And it's done the proper way. It isn't rushed, and our hands ain't being forced.
What makes you think? What makes you think it's rushed?
Listen,
this is something they've been talking about for years.
Just listen to me, please. Just listen to me, please. When we got hundreds of people coming into our country, like how they're doing the American border, then it would become a priority, right? Right now, we just got one, two people coming in. So often.
So we wait to fix the problem when the numbers are out of control.
Listen to me. We could put them in a house. This is what I'm saying, right? I don't want to debate it. I'm just want to say my opinion, right? Everybody got their opinion, right? The facts is the facts, and our opinion is the opinion, right? This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
They could put them in a building, in a nice building that is already existed, that government own it, or if they want to rent a building, whatever the situation is, like they were doing with these Cubans all along till they wrecked it up. They could rent them. The CBC had people, you remember that ordeal where they had guards and everything during COVID at these Cuban property where they were housing the Cubans. They had security guards and things there. So they had the house, they had the internet, they had the TV, and they had the food. Well, one more proper than that to detain somebody. You're illegal into this country now, so you're lucky that you're getting treated. You're getting treated that good. So it doesn't need to be glorified the way that they're saying it's glorified. You got to spend millions of dollars when that money could be spent on something more productive. And we could even do modules. If architects and stuff, they're familiar with those, they could be retrofitted into use We got a prison now that is overcapacitated northward. We could build some cells there that would accommodate for this detention center and for cells when we need it for a general lockup of prisoners in the future. So they could be done. They could be retrofitted. That's what modules are made for that purpose, right? But what I'm saying, these people, okay, we got $2 million facility, burning light, burning AC or whatever. And we got four or five 4 or 5 immigrants inside the place. That doesn't make any sense. We could find a house or something to put them in for the time being and spend the money on something else.
How many people you say at the detention center? 4 or 5? You sure
Which
about
one? I'm talking about, no, I'm saying if we do build a detention center, right? And we got 4 or 5 people staying inside there, we spent $2 million. I'm not talking about the Cuban situation because I already gave my opinion on the Cuban situation. That's a whole heap of hypocrisy that is going on with there. And our slap government don't want to do nothing about it that they could do. So that is a different situation. But even with them, how much is up there? How much is up there bought in terms of the center for? So we can build a two. We could put them in places there. How they don't go clean that up? They could go clean that up. The government could go and clean it up. That not gonna stop it from being nasty. They're not gonna bother clean. If they build this $2 million facility, right? Okay, the tenants and if they don't send people there to clean it up, they're not gonna be in the same situation. It got to be regulated and controlled. The government should have been sending people up there to clean up that facility. So it isn't there. It's being glorified. The whole situation is being glorified.
All right, caller.
It's overcapacitated. They got other places they could send them. Why are they there? Because they're wrecking up people places, and nobody don't want to rent them. That's there. So they're gonna rack up. They might be racking up this other place. Suppose they rack up this $2 million facility that we built. What the security guards gonna do there? I mean, it's being glorified. That's what I'm saying. We don't need that at this point, right?
Okay.
It isn't that much of an urgency. This isn't a major invasion like what got in the United States crossing over the border. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
All right. Thanks very much, caller. Appreciate it. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yes, hello.
Hi, caller. Morning.
Good morning, friend. First of all, I want to tell you I'm in agreement with you this morning fully about the detention center because times has changed. Because if people forget what happened when we had Tensida, when the Cuba and Russia was here, we didn't have no way to deal with it, so we created some brand name Tensida, which is still not a facility to hold anybody. Yeah, and going back to your question, what happened to the Afghanistans that were here? Okay, well, I was privileged to meet one of I knew the 3 of them, but privileged to meet one. His name was Nek Nasari. That's the guy, okay, they put him in Northwood first, and they spent about almost 2.5 years in Northwood. Then during their asylum seeking, the government put them by Eldamaya guest house in South South. They were there for a while, and Nasari now, he was the younger one. And he was a great artist. I still have a drawing that he did for me. And also, he went to the community college here. And he is one of them who achieved one of the highest marks at the community college. Yeah, and the government sent him off to America, But I think the other 2 are still here. They haven't gone anywhere. They got their asylum here. Yeah. So, but on the basis of needing a detention center, yes, times has changed. $2 million, I think that will save us a lot more money in the long run than anything else. Johan, I agree with Johan to a point, but we can't be draconian anymore. I mean, we gotta get up to the times. It's not what we want; it's what the law dictates. Yeah, because there's a lot of things that go on in life that we would like to change on our own, but the law says we can't, and we have to go by the law, what the law says, or change the law. Yeah. So, we would like to pack them up and send them back home or deter them from coming to Cayman, but it's not a possibility. And Cayman is a haven for the rest of the world, because look at our status or our stats when it comes to permit people and residents. We have 150 different nationalities fighting just to be in 76 square miles. So that tells the world something about here, right? So we have to protect it also. So I believe CDC could do much better with our border patrolling and controlling, because these 2 Cubans that slipped up and came straight to shore, who's to say that some never came before or some saw from swimming? You know what I mean? Like the guy we found a couple of years ago who was there overstayed for over 10 years. And it's because of a small traffic violation. And they said, hey, where's the document? He had none. And that's when we found out that we had people here for over 10 years. And I guarantee he's not the only one.
Yeah.
I guarantee that. So we need a detention center so we don't have what we have going on now, where we have people who we don't know anything about walking around our communities free.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you with the detention center. Thank you.
All right, my dear. 936-2626. Lots of comments coming in this morning on this topic. Let's read a few that are coming in via WhatsApp as well. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to grab these. I saw somebody else was just calling. My apologies. I wasn't able to grab that call. So hold on now, honey, chill. It's interesting. One observation that I'm going to make, the previous caller kept confusing the detention center with the temporary housing. And you know, yes, you're entitled to your opinion, but your opinion is based on some degree of confusion as well. So what the Cubans were doing with the places that they're renting, absolutely wrong, but that's not why they were in detention. So there's confusion about their housing, the Bodden Town Civic Center, and detention. Y'all need to understand that they're actually two very different things. When you first enter here as an illegal migrant, you go into the detention center until we figure out who you are, what you're doing, etc. If you then turn around and apply for asylum, and we cannot send you back once you've applied for asylum. So, you know, your hand keeps talking about just send them back, just send them back. The second they apply for asylum, their asylum application has got to be considered. And that puts a stopgap on any returning them anywhere. You don't understand what I'm saying to you? This is the law. Y'all need to listen. You see them degrees up on the wall back there? They're law degrees. And if you don't learn anything else after 3 years of law school, is you always look to the law first. Anybody calls me, oh, Miss Sandy, you know, this and that happened in my workplace. I say, what does the law say? What does the employment or labor law say? What does your contract say? Because that governs what can and cannot be done. I don't get to just make it up out of thin air. I don't know what law school y'all went to, but I'm telling you, the Cayman Islands Law School, you get the degree from Liverpool University, you don't get to make up the law, okay? You got to follow it. Let's look at some of these messages. This person says, morning, Sandy. We all know that Cayman is an overseas territory. Cayman as an overseas territory has obligations under the UK. However, the problem is that we need to ensure that our asylum laws and immigration laws are very strong so that we can deal with the situation quickly. We see the problems in the EU countries and the UK are having as migrants, and they're big countries with more space, resources, and money than us. I think our government needs to take this situation very seriously before we find ourselves with a real serious problem, as our island is way too small to handle this problem. The UK, as a big country, has limited detention centers, and they had to end up putting migrants in hotels. Yes, and ask yourself which hotel in the Cayman Islands is going to be willing to allow you to do that. I'll wait. I'll wait as y'all contact the Kimpton. This person says, no criminal or terrorist has ever stated their true intentions from the onset. In order to deal with criminality, you have to think like a criminal and put measures in place to deal with issues that might arise. 911 terrorist pilots, for example, they entered the US as flight school students. They didn't admit their true intentions. We must know everything about everyone that comes to our shores. Why be reactive? This is our problem. We need to be proactive. And then in relation to caller, they said he is a fool. Okay. Morning, Sandra. Most, if not all, people selling trinkets at popular European tourism sites are working off their passage. This is a fact. There's been many investigative reports done on this, but the authorities do nothing, as the locals will not work for pennies. Johan knows very well this is not as simple as he's stating. He's simply ramping up his political campaign. He's taken a page out of Trump's and the RNC's book. We're not building a detention center. We're repairing the existing one, repairing and improving security. And to that caller's point, I know on Friday when we were talking about this issue, I was a little bit about, you know, where exactly, and this is one of the questions that we'll be asking CBC some clarification about this detention center. I wanted to know, where could you build a detention center for $2 million? And I said, where is this going to be located? And they're like, no, it's at the current location. It's at the current site. So that makes complete sense. Johan says laws are amended all the time. Try amending international laws and get back to us. Go do that. Go and amend the international human rights laws and then tell us how that went for you. Shaka Zulu says, yes, teach them, Auntie Sandy, teach them. Well, boy, we got some hard-headed students. It's no wonder y'all children failing at 70% because some of y'all head just plain hard. You do not want to accept a position. Like I said, yes, you're entitled to your opinion, but your opinion is not based on facts. Your opinion is based on misinformation. Faded Mary Jean says, how we treat these people will eventually be seen by the world. And should the Cayman Islands gain negative press regarding how we're housing migrants, placing them in unlivable conditions, or that we are dehumanizing them, this could have some serious repercussions for the Cayman Islands. Is no one paying attention to what is taking place in the world? Being Caymanian isn't enough anymore. Marshall says this migrant situation is not a today issue. This has been going on for years. The detention center has been needed for years. It's long overdue. And I'm shocked by the suggestion that we don't need a detention center now. It's not a priority. Let's wait until the numbers are out of control. That is essentially what we just said this morning. I'm like, what? What did you just say? Honey child, let me take another bite out of my breadfruit. Nice and crispy. Wait until the numbers dictate do anything about it. Wait until the numbers are out of control. Then it's justified. Listen, it's no wonder our government and everybody else is ass backwards. You don't wait until a situation is out of control before you try to address it. In fact, we sit here every day saying that is what our government shouldn't do. What mess. No, sir. Damien says a house that costs $3,000 a month. What happens if tomorrow we get 300 coming here and let's put them in a hotel? Yeah, right? Like I said, which hotel will that be? And how much do you think that's going to cost the government? Oh, my God. Tiff says, typical Cayman strategy to every situation, reactive versus proactive. Let's wait and then have a rushed short-term solution and no proper planning for long-term. Miss Nikki says what he's talking about is more expensive than just building a dedicated detention center. It doesn't even make any financial sense. Nikki goes on to say earlier, this is not true. I'm a prime example of someone who immigration failed to properly identify and process correctly. This caused me and my family a lot of undue hardship. Wow. If a direct flight from Cayman is not possible, then you have to involve other countries in the process of deportation. And how are you going to do that? Let's tell Cayman Airways right now, send these people back to Ethiopia because Sandy said they're Ethiopians and that's enough. They look Ethiopians, they look black, so they must be Ethiopian. Send them back. So let's see how far Cayman Airways can get. And all those other international carriers, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, put this unknown person in our plane and we can send them back to Ethiopia. And when you get to Ethiopian borders, they're like, we don't know who these people are. They're not Ethiopian. Richard says, question to consider, but since our international relations are determined by the UK, who cannot set up missions to more readily ID deport unwanted economic migrants, good to consider this constitutional review. I'm not sure I understand. Not sure. What are you suggesting, Richard? That the Constitution be amended to say migrants will have no human rights? And that's going to fly where? Debbie says, Johan, I agree with your sentiments, but that was a very blatant insult to Sandy, not deserved. Miss Carla says food was delivered to them when it was delivered to inmates at Fairbanks. What happened to that facility? Well, that's the same facility. That's the same location where this improved facility will be built, to be clear. And it's not it was never designed for what it's being used for. It was the yard space. of the detention center. I'm just saying. It's not a facility. It's yard space. Galaxy says if it's Haitians or Africans from wherever, we need to ask the question why they end up here. I'm betting they know that Cayman is their best chance to remain. God help us when the Haitians come. To be very, very clear on this point, I think I said it earlier, but let me say it again. When it comes to human trafficking, it is very possible that these people themselves don't know where they're going. They're not the ones. They're not the captains of the boat, quite literally and figuratively. Okay. So they end up wherever they end up. I don't know who owns that vessel and who is working on that ship, but they also have some questions to answer here today. It's a good thing Cayman only dependent on the UK and not worldwide. Well, if y'all think that that's the case, you need to go have a look at financial services, huh? And circle back to me when you think that y'all running the show. You can do whatever you want. All right. This is what was said on Friday's show. Pay attention.
To deter them, that they say they turn them wrong in, say, 3 months. You turn wrong, you go back. We're not going to need a detention center to that extreme because they're going to be on their way. Why we need the detention centers? Because the people are here or not here.
No,
I keep
but
saying here, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but Carla, you're making an
processed.
assumption that we might never have any other migrants come for anybody else anywhere else other than Cuba. What happens the day that we have some Haitian migrants come by the boatload?
Well, God forbid, but it's going to be the same thing.
You're not going to have anywhere to put them?
And the other thing is that I think that they need to consider is getting more patrol in the waters.
All right, folks, that was Friday's show. I said, heaven forbid, the day, and that day was yesterday. Literally 3 days later after Friday's show. Charles says, Sandy, Caymanians keep mentioning Haitians because they're Black. Our people don't mind if people come as long as they are. And I can't make out what that's supposed to be. I mean, I only mention Haitians because it is a very volatile situation and they are leaving their country in significant numbers. So we're more likely to get people from the region than we are, but I mean, it could be anywhere in the world, right? Stephanie says the UK sent their condolences in a box of tissue after Ivan. The US sent food and supplies. Oh my Lord. This person says the law means nothing to Moxham because he said last week we break laws every day. No, sir, says this person. You deal with him. This person says, I'm not suggesting that we use any of our hotels. I'm just stating the facts for what happens in a big country. Well, that makes sense that the government will be utilizing the current building in Bodden Town to improve as a no, that's not what I said. I need y'all to please pay attention to me. That's not what I said. The Bodden Town Civic Center is not a detention center. I'm going to pause for just a second so y'all can let it sink in. Bodden Town, the deplorable situation there is not that is not a detention center. That is housing for them whilst their applications are being considered for asylum. Fairbanks is where the detention center is. In the yard of Fairbanks. What used to be where they'd let the prisoners out and walk up and down and have a little bit of yard space. That was actually being used for the overflow of our class, I think, C prisoners, because Northward is full. We have since had to take that space and use it as a detention center for illegal migrants. Do y'all understand? The only reason that space was being utilized for low-risk prisoners is because we had no space at Northward. Northward also needs a significant infrastructure injection. So we had to boot the Caymanian male prisoners out of there, send them back to Northward, where there continues to be all sorts of human rights violations and overcrowding, and use that because we've never had a detention center in Cayman. So I am aggrieved when I hear y'all say, make the situation get worse before we can have a business case for building a detention center. Wait till we get more numbers that are uncontrollable and then rush the situation and try to do something about it. That makes zero sense. They say that they're going to be improving the detention center because that's what it's called. The whole thing there, have y'all ever been to Fairbanks? The whole thing there is called the detention center. And the females' prison is also now part of that facility as well. So it is referred to as a detention center. That does not mean a detention center was ever built to begin with. That's just what they're calling it. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. It shows how little y'all know that's happening in your own country. And I guess maybe to some extent, this isn't your fault. Because the same agencies, government agencies, politicians are not educating you, the people, about anything. So no wonder y'all confused. Why aren't y'all up in arms about that? That you don't know the difference between where the detention center is located, what the civic center does, and you don't even know what's going on in your own country. I don't see none of these wannabe politicians saying y'all need to know what's going on in your own country and you need to figure it out. That's what they should be harping on. We have low-income housing right now in West Bay that was built. The people were supposed to move in from December. Here we are in May going into the summer, and the people can't get access to their place yet. Why aren't y'all up in arms about that? Because that is government money that has already been spent to help low-income Caymanian families. And that ain't got nothing to do with the Cuban situation. Get some brownie points literally off of that situation. I'm just saying. If we're going to call out the system and we're going to talk about nonsense, let's talk about the things that actually matter. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning,
the government, the low housing, right, ma'am? Who you think buying them out? North Caymanians, expat. And the next thing is, right, them low houses, they what you say for Caymanians, ma'am.
But you don't qualify unless you're a Caymanian. So which expat is buying them?
But the thing they build them just for Caymanians, not for expat.
Yeah, but in order to qualify, you have to be a Caymanian. So you said expats are buying them. I'm asking you which expats are buying it.
Okay, good. For example, right? You remember that woman that came on the news about her that want to take the house and she paid the rent down Windsor Park? Go and check and see who buy the house. The woman that down Windsor Park. She came on the news and said that she been paying her bills. Okay, the house that they put that for sale, go see who buy the house. Go down Windsor Park, for example, and check how much Caymanians down inside, you know. You understand? And the next thing is to, right, ma'am, if, say, I'm a Caymanian too, right, ma'am, and for me to get a job, I went through labor, national workforce, and guess what? They never helped me get a job, ma'am. I had to think, you know what labor board tell me? I must go on the side of the road and stand up with a sign saying I need a job. But why they are there for? That is my question. You see, miss, the government,
So
labor board.
let me just ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
How do you all right, government is there to, you say, try to help you find a job. You submitted your resume. When was the last time that you worked? What kind of job are you looking for?
No, listen to me, ma'am. Okay, say I am unemployed Caymanian, right?
Yes.
If you go to the national workforce, you go there and you apply online, right? You sign up and everything, right? And then when you apply online, he still can't get no job, ma'am.
Yeah, but applying and that's not going to guarantee you a job. What it does is you register, and then you're supposed to go through the list of available jobs and apply individually for them. So how many of those jobs did you apply for?
A lot.
Well,
listen to me. No, listen to me,
No,
miss.
but tell me. Okay, let's walk through this for a second. Just slow down. What type of work are you looking for? What are you qualified to do?
Any kind, ma'am. Any kind of job, ma'am. But this is my point, right, miss? Listen,
You
listen
can't be
very
qualified
carefully.
to do any kind of a job. So if I come to you and give you an accounting job, you can do that?
Right now, ma'am. Right now.
But you can't if you're not qualified to be an accountant. This is where, okay, caller, I want you to listen very, very carefully to me, right? This is where,
Yes,
as
ma'am.
Caymanians, we have to be careful what we're putting out there and the narrative that we're putting out there. You can't say you can do any job. And if I give you an accounting job, you say, yeah, I can do that. And you have no accounting experience, no accounting degree, no nothing. You have to know what kind of job you're looking for. So tell me, what are you qualified to do?
Miss Sandy, please listen to me very carefully before you jump up the conclusion, ma'am. If you go to the workforce, right, to apply for a job, right, you apply online, right? And if the company not replying to you back, right, the national workforce was supposed to contact them to find out when they're not calling you back, but they are not doing it, ma'am. If you go to labor board, the last time I went to labor board, I tell the woman, she come out telling me all kind of food shit. So I said, okay, then I go and call Mal Road. She betcha she jump a quick time and do her job. So tell me now, what the government doing? The people that work for the government just need to do their job and stop being crazy, ma'am. Simple. You talking about here Africans or whatever and Cubans that are unidentified. You got a lot of people that working in this Cayman Islands that are unidentified also, ma'am. You just can't look at them. A lot of people got Cayman papers that not even using they're the one woman up on this place. Then the immigration system, they're doing their work is very wrong, ma'am. The government, whoever they are, ma'am, they are doing it wrong. So it's a lot of things. The immigration, they got cancel up everything and started all over from the beginning, man. Because a lot of people come to this island using unidentified documents and they still get through with Cayman papers. So what the difference is with the Cubans?
I'm still trying to figure out what kind of job you're looking for. I mean, if you can tell me, we might be able to help you. But by you saying that anything, that not gonna help.
Okay, ma'am, I'm looking for a job, ma'am.
A driving job.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you have experience in what, when we say driving, are we talking about heavy equipment driving? Are we talking about, just driving a regular car? You've got a certain types of driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your category of license that you can drive? What do you have?
I have a group 4, ma'am.
A group 4. And that means that you can drive what type of vehicles?
Heavy equipment, ma'am.
You can do heavy equipment.
Miss, the thing is, right? When you go, trust me, the immigration system need to cancel everybody who they get status to. And
right, let's stay focused on getting you a job. Because the most important thing you need right now is a job, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One curious.
I had a job. Hold on, miss. Hold on. I had a job in a ma'am. But I get a stroke. And when I needed insurance, you know what the turn on did? They terminate me, ma'am, because they don't want to pay for no insurance for me, ma'am.
Okay,
So
you
now,
see, this is an important detail. You should have said this first, because although you want a job driving heavy equipment, you have a medical situation where you can't have that kind of job, right? Because you might have, once you've had one stroke, that does increase your chances of having another one. And yes, your insurance is going to be out the roof. So which company is going to be able to afford to pay insurance to cover you, a high risk driver on heavy equipment? So that's a very different situation.
okay, I was working with a recycling company, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Now you're starting
So now
to. It's starting to make
hold
a
on,
little bit more sense.
Hold on now. I get a stroke, right?
Mm-hmm.
They terminate me because they don't want to pay for no insurance for me. They're using all kind of things. So now,
okay,
I went to labor board. You know what labor board did? The woman, she trying to hide from me being behind the counter.
Mm-hmm.
What the sense they have it for if they not want to do the job, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Were you there for a reason? But well, you know what? You got force the person to do the job. It don't make no sense to have them there, ma'am. If you got force them, go to labor board, ma'am. Use you and the people that go in there for make a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
They just give them a bunch of run around.
Mm-mm.
So there's a lot of problem that the government have on their hand that they got to deal with too.
Mm-hmm.
To me, for something to get done, if I go to like labor board, I gotta tell them, say, boy, I have to go mile road on this because they give me fools in my head. Instead of they look into the situation and do the job the correct way, they are not. Go to the workforce, right, ma'am? You see a lot of things happen, miss. Instead of you going on the Facebook page, you have to go out there to find out what's going on, why they're not doing the job correctly, ma'am.
Just 1 second for me, caller. For some reason, we seem to have lost the radio connection. Just hold on 1 second for me, please. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but let me just play something to bring it back online. Please hold. was actually trying to thank you guys for letting me know. I'm not sure what happened to the radio feed. It got disconnected, but I can't reach anybody over there to get it back on. So let me try to I'm trying to manually message other people. I'm not quite sure what happened to it there, but let me see. Something must have dropped out in their end because it can't be our stuff because supposedly they have an AI thing there that's supposed to kick it back in, but it hasn't. Let me just message Blake. Maybe Blake can help. I don't know if this is related to the internet issues that they've been having. All right, so we'll do our best to get the radio feedback on here momentarily. So caller, I'm just trying to again get a grasp of your individual situation. So I think that it's fair to say, although you might want to drive, it's probably the case that you can't, right?
I understand that too.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question is, right? I'll show you something again too, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I went to NAU, right, miss? They sent me to Georgetown Hospital to do a checkup, right? So basically, what they did is contact the woman there that do the checkup and did what she said, and I can't get you no help neither. So what must I do?
I mean, I think the reality of the situation is you need to find some other line of work that you can do. And I appreciate now that you have a medical condition that might also be a bit challenging.
Miss, the whole point is right. The people that work for the government just need to do damn better. Simple. They need to stop being crazy and do their job what they hired to do. And start getting people that run around, stop being just stop being crazy, man. Simple as that, man. Point blank. But you see, miss, for this problem to stop, ma'am, Facebook, coming on Facebook and talking to these about these things, right, ma'am? What you have to do is go to these places and find out why such and such not going on. You want to see things done, I bet you get your camera, they see how quick they do it. Go see how quick they do it. Because talking on Facebook not working, ma'am.
Well, I mean,
coming on live on hold on.
Yes.
Coming on live on Facebook, not working, ma'am. So you have to take your camera and go to these places, man, these individual places that people are complaining about, ma'am. Because if you just sit on Facebook, ain't nothing going to get done. You want to see how fast I feel sit on the bill, go to government, but you saw the bill out overnight, you would see. Because trust you me, a lot of topics you were talking about on Facebook that I just saying, sometimes I just want to call and say, Miss Sandy, you just wasting your time on Facebook because nothing not working, ma'am. These elected officials, if you go near them, they probably want to send somebody to kill you too. So if I hear you say, well, Cayman, you got free to speech. No, you don't. Cayman don't have nothing. If I open my mouth, you know the first thing I want to do, call police and get me locked up. For what? Or they want to send somebody to kill you. What the difference is? Tell me now, Miss Sandy.
All right, caller.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day, ma'am.
I appreciate it.
You want to see things get done, ma'am? Just go there with your camera and you will see, ma'am. You see how quick things get done fast. Talking on Facebook just a waste of time, ma'am. It is just a waste of time. Mr. Wood have been doing the same thing too. None have been done, ma'am. So, but when the privilege, Mr. Wood couldn't do what you could do, ma'am. He couldn't carry the camera there, ma'am. So for something to get done in the Cayman Islands, ma'am, you have to go out there with your camera and find out what the problem is, ma'am. Because talking on Facebook and not working out at all for no Caymanians. How much Caymanians you see jobless right now, ma'am? A lot. The government don't want Caymanian to get no job. Okay, if you are Caymanian and they have permanent residency, when they put out the ad, what is it? Rights to work. No, that cannot. What the difference is between a Caymanian and rights to work, ma'am? They don't want to hire no Caymanians, ma'am, regardless if you're sick or not. A lot of Caymanians that walking around the Cayman right now that need help can't get it, ma'am. So sometimes when you listen to the people on Facebook, they're calling in. Some of them are right and some of them are wrong, ma'am. But the next thing too, ma'am, people that calling in, you can't really go by what they're saying, ma'am. Because I see you one time, they send you a picture of a pot. The guy was smoking ganja on the side of the road, right, ma'am? But that's wrong, ma'am.
What do you mean that's wrong?
There's a lot of things that you could.
What was wrong with it is the question. What do you mean it's wrong?
Okay. How are you so sure for yourself that was ganja that the guy was smoking with the picture that you post up, ma'am? You see,
we had a whole show on that where we went through it. I don't know if you missed that one, but
and I'm saying because even though you have on Facebook, I be on Facebook watching it, ma'am.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of things,
we
ma'am.
went over that in pretty good detail. So.
But miss, you can't believe what some people telling you are posting that for you, ma'am. They're wrong. If I were that guy that would they take picture of me, I would have been suing their body, ma'am.
Suing them for what?
I mean, ma'am, you because I sitting on the road. I sitting on the road and up something. They didn't even know why they are just assuming it's drugs. But reflection, even liquor store sells cigarette that you roll up, ma'am. So most naturally, you think that they're drugs that they roll up, ma'am. But it's not.
Okay, so he had a beer and rolling something on the job on the side of the road. Even if you want to argue that that's a cigarette, which is highly unlikely, do you think that that's the appropriate thing to be sitting on the roadside doing when you're part of a cleanup crew because you're already unemployable and can't get a job?
Miss Sandy,
let me say something. Because keep in mind now. Listen to me carefully.
Let me get something across here, right, ma'am. I went to the Georgetown police station in 2009, right, ma'am, to make a report, right, miss. The officer that come outside to assist me. If you ever smell he breath, the alcohol will licking you down, and he still was driving the police car. So what the difference is, ma'am?
Well, nobody not here giving him right. I mean, I don't know anything about that situation. But you could have sent him. You could have sent him in same way, and we'd be asking the exact same questions.
So, what the difference is?
What do you mean? What the difference is? Listen to what I listen. Listen to what I just said. Listen to what I just said to you. I said, yes, had you sent his information in the exact same way, we would have most certainly reported what he was doing. Nobody is condoning it. Yeah?
Drinking a little beer in the brain. No problem, ma'am. One beer can kill them, ma'am. I'm just saying.
All right. Thank you, caller.
But it's a lot of things what government need to change. They're looking to change.
All right, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day, ma'am.
Okay, you too. Just let me try to get this feed back up again. I'm not really sure what's going on with the radio feed this morning. 1 second, call. I'm going to be with you in just a second. Okay, folks. I don't even know. I'm trying my best to get the radio back on. We've hopefully now notified the correct persons that we are not on. I don't know. The AI feature doesn't seem to be working. Strange. Okay. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hi, good morning, Sandy. Let me get turned on. The
Oh yes, always
Nice.
turn that down first, please, please,
Oh,
please.
okay, let me turn it off
Yes.
altogether.
All right, dear. Thanks very much.
People, Caymanians, how to understand work ethics. The previous work history, and giving the best they can, even if they do not want to be on that job. Always think of the one they didn't have before the one that they have now. You know, it is sad because there's no entitlement. We're not back in 1940. We're back in the 2000, and people got to understand there's no entitlement for anyone if you're not qualified to do a job. If you're qualified and you're a Caymanian, you have good work ethics, a good work history, then you should be given that chance. But a lot of these guys don't realize that they cannot get a job because they're Caymanians. I could give you an example. My wife, she had a guy working for her, and she had this little young guy. He got him to work. He came and worked for a whole week. This is probably 8 years ago, and he was working 12 hours a day, 11 hours a day, and he made almost $500 for that week, 6 days a week. A Monday came, no show up. Tuesday come. So finally, my wife got hold to the mother. I got hold, made a call, and the mother says, "You think that I gotta let my son work for that kind of money? He made almost $500 for that week, and he wasn't qualified to do anything." You know, it's a work ethics, and people got to understand that if they met on a job for a certain position, and the management or the supervisor want them to be a telephone operator, they could be in the IT business, and she wanted to be into the telephone operator. Go there because the manager or the supervisor may see the potential in you, because people got to realize management, you don't get their manager just being in one department. You got to know everything about that company. You know, it is sad, and attitude. And boy, I tell you what, some of these people, their attitude sucks.
Yeah. And I tell you what, the thing that people don't recognize, right? I even say this, people are in social media, having the most to say about all sorts of things. And it is interesting to me that they miss the point of there are people who will watch your social media platforms, and they are aware of your viewpoints and the way that you interact with people and the things that you say, et cetera, et cetera. That you should be mindful of the perception of what you are putting out there in terms of the public as well. So here's a guy this morning who's looking for a job. He says he's looking for a job, and some of you are probably listening and saying, okay, we're going to give him a job, you're going to give him an opportunity, and then you hear him defending somebody on the side of the street smoking marijuana and drinking a beer.
Yeah, you think that I would employ him?
Exactly. What is wrong with our people?
And you can't. I'm about an 8th generation Caymanian from Cayman Brack, so you can't get any more Caymanian than I am, and I'm all for Caymanians. You know, it is. We have a dilemma on that is facing us. We got to somehow. I don't know where to start, but somebody has to start something to try to fix this problem we have. You know, it is until
I think that the truth of the matter is we need to be honest with our people. And you see, this is what I keep saying is no one is willing to be honest. You know, the politicians that want to be candidates, this one, that one, you know, nobody is willing to be honest with the people. Stop sugarcoating stuff.
You can't.
You know, I'm a small business owner, right? I'm telling you all that some of you are simply not employable. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with your skill set. It has to do with your work ethic and your work attitude.
Yes. You know, and I know there's a guy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I know a guy that is into the boating business, and him and his employees smokes weed before they go on a tour. And I told him, I said, that is not what you should be doing with your staff. I'm not gonna call no names. You know, it is sad. And people don't realize a resume does not give you an entitlement for a job. It only tells the person what you're capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not obligated to give you that job. And coming back to the detention center, we definitely need that, because one of the things that happens in Cayman, and there's no other place in the world that people like to procrastinate. If they do not build that detention center now, in 15 years' time, you know the amount of cost that's going to cost the government or the people of the Cayman Islands. Build it now, and build a good one. How somebody designed it. Don't just give it to any architect and say, I want you to draw drawings for a detention center. Somebody knows what they need to draw.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's sad. And I've had so many Caymanians, good Caymanians, that start out good. And I could give you another example. I had a guy that I used to watch on another boat. He was the best that you could find. So I approached him. I told him that I need somebody to work for me. And he came on board. He was well presented, you know, and he came on board my boat. And 5 minutes into the conversation, I'm doing tours. He says, Mr. Dexter, I must be honest with you. I don't like children. I said, you don't like children? I said, now you only did about 10 steps to come from the dock to where you're at right now. Take the same amount of steps and leave. I wouldn't even employ him, because if you can't like the children, how can you like the people that are paying you?
I don't know. Thank you.
We have a serious problem in our midst.
Yes. I mean, listen, I am pro Caymanian 1,000%. We need to give our people opportunities. But if our people are not up to standard, how on earth are you going to be going out there telling people that you must hire people who don't want to show up to work, who are not up to standard, who are going to sit down drinking and smoking spliffs on the job and all this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
We can't lower our standards just to be pro Caymanian. That's ridiculous. That's nonsense. And anybody who tells you that foolishness, don't vote them into office. Because it doesn't benefit us as a people.
No, it does not. And it does not benefit anybody. You know, we have so many people that would like a job, but they're unemployable.
And these are the folks who make it bad for everybody.
Yes.
Because even the good Caymanians have to work twice as hard, because by the time that employer hires another Cayman, they're like, boy, I just hired 5 that didn't want to show up to work. They didn't want to do this. You didn't, it's like, what a mess.
Boy. But anyway, Sandy, you have to fight.
My dear, sometimes I feel like I'm fighting breeze.
No, don't give up. Don't throw your arms. We need Caymanians need you more than they need the politicians, because you're doing more for the people of this island than a lot of politicians.
What a hot mess. Thank you, caller. I appreciate it.
Okay, Sandy, you take care, man.
Thanks, you too. Oh my God. What a mess. All right. WhatsApp message. This person on WhatsApp said, I'm tiring. It's tiring watching you talking, trying to make sense to Caymanian. It's like beating a dead horse. I feel bad for us. There's no savior coming. Lord Jesus. OMG. Wow. What a mess. CC says, this is a double standard. I hate when you have people bashing Caymanians for smoking and have big lawyers in high positions snorting white stuff, but that's none of my business. Oh land of saffron. I don't know what y'all, I don't know wrong with y'all, No one, I don't know what circles y'all circling in. Okay. But let me be very, very clear about what the position is over Yasso. Because I can only talk about the position over here. Okay? We do not discriminate. We don't show favoritism to anybody based on who they are, where they're from, who their mama is, who their papa is, who their side chick is, how many children they have or don't have. None of that is the point. This is the whole thing I keep saying. Standards are standards, no matter who you apply it across the street, across the Lord Jesus, across the bar. I don't even know if that's the right word I'm looking for this morning. It don't make no difference. Are you saying, Cindy, that we have not reported on lawyers doing cocaine? Because I would challenge you to simply go to our website. In fact, I'm going to help you out this morning. Hold on. Oh, Lord, what was his name again? He worked at the trust company there. Hold on. Something Trust. Oh, Lord. What was the name of that trust company across from where, across the board? Thank you. What's the name of trust company next to Walker's? I think it might be part of Intertrust. Thank you. Hold on. Let us go to the website and Google Intertrust. Since y'all claim that the lawyers out there snorting cocaine and nobody not talking about it. Let's go to the website. Intertrust. Okay. Here we go. All right. May 24th, 2018. Y'all remember this case? Hold on. Oh, I need to get my web guy to fix this photo. Hold on. Let me ask Ali to fix it. Okay. Here's this story back in the day of this lawyer who, here he is. His name was Ryan Schroeder, 39 at the time. Okay. Got caught, got arrested at his workplace. We even had the CBC. I think we had a video too. Anyway, there's a picture of him, the K9 unit. They put him in the car, rolling up on him. People in Liberties were like, oh my God, Sandy, what's going on? They sent us the picture. We put up everything. Ryan Schroeder was a manager of the business unit He was a business unit director for U.S. private equity and corporate at Intertrust Cayman, making big time money. When I say big time money, the kind of money you would never see, Cindy, in your year of working. Probably $150,000, $200,000 easily. Easily. Okay? Right? He got himself caught up in a situation because he's an addict. And unfortunately for him, after having 16 years of experience in the alternative fund industry, managing a team of 35 directors, he gets caught and we report on him just like he was a little boy from Windsor Park. I am not here to curry favor with nobody. He lost his job. He went to court. I don't have no control over what the court did because of the amount and having a good lawyer to give him a slap on the wrist. And that was that. That was that. And he's on his merry way. So, the question now, say that to me again. This man for years, both him, his wife, the very family dog, was constantly contacting me, begging to have this taken down because, oh, miss, this is impacting his opportunity to get a job. Even when he moved back to the U.S., oh, you know, we need some help, blah, 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 blah. I said, sir, that ain't none of my business. That has nothing. I'm sorry, sir. I feel for you because I can imagine being an addict, you know, you need to get your stuff together. But these are the consequences of your own actions. We're just in the news reporting business, honey child. And if you make the news, then you make the news. And it ain't got nothing to do with me. I could go back. I don't know if I could find emails that far back, to be honest. But for years, this man and his wife were emailing me, even offering me money to take down this story. You know how easy it would have been back in 2018? CMR wasn't making any money. It would have been very, very easy to take a payout for these people. But trust me, Cindy, I don't know who your comment is referring to, but it's not referring to us. Because we call people out equally on this platform. Okay? The problem with this type of thinking, it's linear thinking. And we all have, including myself, been guilty of this, and we all say these things. Well, you know, this, y'all call it this, but you don't do that. Or you do this, you do that. It is a way of excusing bad behavior when none of it is excusable. Okay? So, yeah, but y'all not reporting on this. Y'all not, no, I'm not talking about this. It doesn't make the offending behavior that we are talking about any better or any less of a crime. But when you say that, there is an impression that you are trying to make it less of an issue because, well, other things are happening over here that nobody's paying attention to. Same thing with the money argument. Well, can we spend money on this? Because, yeah, y'all not spending money on this. What I'm telling you all is that if y'all want jobs and you want to be able to get a job and keep a job, there's certain things that you cannot do at your workplace. I bet you his workplace fired him, though. Even in his position, as soon as that hit Ma Road, you better believe he was out the door, disgraced and fired, and everybody up in Intertrust. Shh, oh my God, can you believe it? You say it as though nobody's holding him accountable. Now, I don't know what in the world happens when it's not in the public domain. I mean, like they say, when Mall Road coming knocking, you better have your situation together. Let me give you another example. Hold on here now. What's the other one over at was he Maples or Walkers? I think this was Maples. Let's go for the big boys this morning since we're on this discussion, shall we? Yes, Auntie Sandy, let's do it right. Y'all remember this fella? Maple's partner, David Marshall, 49 at the time. This was back in October of 2019. Once again, CMR calling out the wrongdoing. And we might have been the only ones to report on this. I can't remember. Maybe CNS eventually reported on it. This man was arrested and charged with viciously beating up his wife in a Florida hotel.
Hello.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Right. Sorry. Right in South Beach. Okay. Wife of 15 years. Beat her up so badly. See all the charges here, the whole incident, the whole shebang.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you kindly drink some water and tune yourself down this morning, honey child?
What are you doing on my phone? Hold on 1 second, honey. He beat her to a pulp, allegedly. Well, he was charged with it and he was actually found guilty, but anyway. Viciously beat the woman, knocked her out. Ask yourselves, who was hiding this story of domestic violence and assault? Well, it surely wasn't me. I'm just saying. We reported on it. We reported on the resignation. The wife even sent in a letter claiming that, oh, please print this on behalf of my husband. It never happened. She did a whole letter. Please print this letter. Please, can you take down this story? We said, no, we're not taking it down. This is news. What do you mean take down the story? For what? Now he back in some cushy, well, I don't know if he's still there, but he ended up partnering in another smaller law firm. Listen, we have examples that we can show you of where we don't care who you are. Okay? I just want to be very, very clear. That is zero excuse. Don't make no difference what you look like. Don't make no difference where you're from. Don't make no difference who your mama is, who you think your papa is, because you probably can't prove it and need a DNA test. None of that matters to us, right? We are here to call a spade a spade. So Damien says, wow, his wife taking after him. That's very common with domestic abuse victims, why they stay in the relationships as long as they do. Let me give y'all one more example. Remember the penny, what was this one now? The penny stock guy. Oh, yes. Yes. His name was, what the heck was his name again? See this one here now? That was him and his mom in the picture. Penny stock fraudster fined by SEMA months after U.S. guilty. What was his name again? Oh, Lord, have mercy. This one now was Andrew McAlpine. Yes. See him here? If you go and search on the website for Andrew McAlpine, again, CMR broke this story too. This will come up showing you, you see, wife of alleged fraudster says God works in mysterious ways. We put all that up there. Here he is, indicted in multiple security fraud charges after investigation. They grabbed him during COVID, arrested in Orlando and removed from chartered Canadian flight. He was trying to hand people the Rolex watch, talking about, oh, hold my Rolex watch. Hold my Rolex watch because, I don't want them to confiscate that because he knew what he was up to. Same thing. His wife, these wives, they get used to the lifestyle, of course, and they'll defend any kind of foolishness. Writing in, talking about the good Lord made this happen. Yeah, the good Lord made you marry a criminal. Okay, woman, if you say so. But it was the same thing, Cindy. People, full Caymanians, of course. Oh, well, him and his wife go to my church and they're such good people. Are you sure you have to put this story up? I mean, after all, it's not like he was found guilty. I said, ma'am, with all due respect, please do not message me anymore on my WhatsApp. Y'all don't have one lick of sense. Do we not put out when other people are arrested and when they're charged and when they're involved in sting operations? What makes Andrew McAlpine any different than anybody else? Because he's white, he's right? We don't care about that. Caller, honey child, I didn't realize you were on the phone.
Honey child, I was, but I got a call from DEH and had to put you on hold. But anyway, my darling, good morning. How are you today?
Morning, dear.
I want to share my 2 cents with the caller, that the young man that's looking a job. I was kabooming with certain things he was saying until he went soaked with the rolling the weed and the alcohol. It's okay to have it. Oh, honey child. You see, he was right to an extent until he started there with my point of view. That just soured everything. But you were right when you said employers listens to your show, hear these kind of arguments. No, he was okay at the beginning until he went defending this ganja rolling and this bear. Who would hire him? Who in their sound mind, they see where his mind is set, what level it's set at, and who would want to hire him? No one. And it is true. It is true. They drinks alcohol while on this nice program. They smokes their weed on this nice program. They disappears and smoke it.
You know what the problem is? Once again, our government has given people employment opportunities and never told them that there were certain things in relation to the work ethic that they're supposed to come with.
Well, that is true to an extent as well, because in Utah,
tell me how the NICE program actually helps. They give people a job temporarily, but when it comes to having them find a sustainable job, how is it helping them when there are no standards being set, even on the NICE work sites?
None whatsoever.
You see the foolishness that they be going on with?
Oh, remember, I supervised Georgetown 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I know what I saw.
That's our government giving people a job. Let me not forget to remind you that in Cayman Brac, there is a NICE program that works year-round on rotation. And they are being accused of being the facility on the Brac that is transporting drugs. And I'm not talking about no marijuana. I'm talking about all of it, including cocaine.
Okay.
And that's government.
Well, okay, honey child, with some
because of politics, right? The premier of this country has put that NICE program in place on Cayman Brac, and it gets her jobs, and everybody happy, and nobody does anything about it. And yet it is being used as a transport on the ground, literally on the mall road, transport system to transport drugs in Cayman Brac. And nobody, including the police, not saying nothing about that. Now that's where they need to say something about. That where they need to go clean up over there. Yes, so.
Hold it a minute. Honey child is happening right here in Grand Cayman. Right here in Grand Cayman, our government vehicles are being used to transport drugs seamlessly. And that is when we're going to get back to the young man. He said that you need to come out in the community. Now, you know, you got me a little tingle with that too, because I've been begging you to come out and see. And I know for a fact, I feel within myself, if you was to come out and address these issues that we're having in the community, things would get done, because in the whole world is seeing what they're lacking of doing. Police, DCI, DEH, and planning. There's so much faults out here that these people and these entities are not doing their jobs, what the people of these countries are paying them to do. You understand? So getting you out there, because you are like me, not afraid to speak up and to address anything. So to get it on air, to get it out there, oh my gosh, Sandy, you are needed out in the communities. You are, if it even once a month or even every 3 months or something, but you are needed to expose these government entities what the jobs that they are not doing, especially DCI and planning. You understand? There is so much that the public needs to be aware of that are causing chaos in our communities and planning, DCI, and the police. The police add into those three for especially. You understand? Have been turning a blind eye to. You are needed to come out. And another note, when we have Caymanians who have went abroad and trained for jobs, come back and they refuse to hire them. We have Caymanians with knowledge of how to do the job and to get the job done with experience. And what they do, instead of promoting the Caymanians, they bring in somebody, some foreigner, and put the Caymanian to train that person. And honey child, I am speaking of experience. I'm not speaking of hearsay alone. I am speaking of experience, what I have experienced. You understand? In my time working in tourism department, industry, you understand? So therefore, you child, so we got to give and we got to take. Not everybody case is the same. Not everybody case is the same. You understand? But you have some Caymanians out there that are knowledgeable of the job, willing to do the work, and guess what? They bring some foreigner in and put them above them, and then turn around. The Caymanian have to train them. That should not be. Under no circumstances, that should not be. You understand? If it's complaint to Labor Board should act, which I have no confidence whatsoever in Labor Board at all. Labor Board, not for Caymanians, period. You understand? And our government needs to tighten up their belt, put up their skirt or their pants, and they need the best for their Caymanians, and they need to see that the Caymanians are getting treated equally or the right way. And it's not happening until we get some real caring MPs who really cares about their people. This is the way it's going to be. So that is my 2 cents. But I'm still waiting on the time for you to come out so we can do a tour.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're not answering me.
I'm we need to we will make the time. I don't want to make a promise this week and I can't.
That's exactly what I need you to do. Obligate to a date and time. And I'm going to hold you up to that and call you out on that.
Oh my God. Somebody said they want you to go out there and do police work. Lord Jesus.
Honey, child, you'll have more police leaving the force because then they will be exposed. All the corrupt police officers will be exposed.
Well, I know one thing. Even the police said to me this week, somebody and the higher up said, we don't want to end up on Mall Road. So I guess that's the point. Thank you, caller.
Well, that's why I need you out to see what they're not doing.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, my darling. We'll talk off there to get that date.
All right, honey chill.
What
a mess. So, since we're discussing wrongdoing, I need to bring something to your attention here this morning. Something that we really, really need to discuss. It's important. Yeah. This is interesting. All right. So I want to talk about a few things this morning. Wrongdoing comes in all shapes and sizes. Yeah. I'm a little bit surprised that the powers that be, and I'm still trying to work my brain around exactly who would be responsible for this. But there is a situation that is extremely concerning, yes? And you know, when you see a situation happening, your mind does go and ask these questions. Why is this happening? Why is this person being given what appears to be some sort of a special treatment? You know, your brain, we're only human after all. So I'm going to highlight something here this morning. Immigration, CBC, WORC, somebody has to take responsibility for this situation. And y'all need to give me an answer on what you think is actually going on here. Good morning, caller.
Good morning again, Miss Sandra. The young lady that was just talking to you there, tell her I got a warrant out for her because she deserted me.
Oh,
and
geez,
you can give her my number because she know my voice.
Aye.
But Miss Sandy,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
what she is saying, this been troubling me for many, many years. And I beat this horse till I brought it back to life, and it did again. Miss Sandra,
Oh my God.
this habit in Cayman. Caymanians, I know a young lady that went to the UK, a Caymanian. Not no paper Caymanian, a Caymanian from mother and father went to the UK for 5 years on a government scholarship. She came back and she was working, I'm not going to call the place, but a very high place company in the government, which they had people from other countries. And they told the young lady that she had to train them. But they had applied. But Ms. Sandra, before I continue what I was saying,
I want you to go ahead because there is something really important today that I want you to get on. So you stay focused. Stay focused.
Yeah. But I just need to ask this question to continue. Sure. If you apply for a pilot and you put on the uniform, do another pilot have to come and tell you how to fly?
There is a training period, so yes, that's possible. You don't just because you put on a pilot uniform don't mean that you're not going to have. That's why all pilots in their first years of flying will be flying as a junior under a more senior pilot. That's how you get on the job experience. And some jobs you need that. That's a requirement.
Okay, let's put it this way. I'm a captain of a plane. I'm a captain. So when I go board and I sit down in the left-hand seat, somebody got to come and tell me how to fly? No, that's not the way. You're supposed to know the job that you apply for.
Well, all jobs. Well, I don't want to say all jobs, but a lot of jobs, even if you know some technical aspects of it, and yes, you've completed flight school and whatever, there's an internship and a trainer apprenticeship that is often required. It depends on where you are in the job. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
so, and then some companies have specific things that they will want you to learn in terms of their internal processes. So there might be some elements of it where some degree of training is required.
Okay, let me continue on that.
All right.
But anyhow, the Caymanians is working on the job 7 and 8 years. Okay. No problem at all. He brings in a foreigner, and that foreigner going to be about a Caymanian, and the Caymanian got to turn on and train them. It should be no. I ain't training you because you come here, you applied for a secretary. You're supposed to know a secretary job. I'm not supposed to train you. And then when I get through training you, you fire me or you let me go. Huh? That ain't right. And especially the government's supposed to look out for their own people, at least the ones that they send away and they spend money on to spend them for them to study. They should be the ones that they give priority to. But they bring the foreigner in and the Caymanian is forced. I know somebody on a job right now at a Cayman company, and a Caymanian been on this job 9 years. They call her in even when her day off. And when they hire anybody new, show them how to do this, show them how to balance in the evening when you close down. Show them this. This not right. And the part with that, they give the person that they bring into the island, more benefits, more priority, and paying them more. I know a case.
Okay,
that
let me pause you there because it sounds like you got a lot of examples, but I'm gonna ask you to pause there and leave us with what you've given us so far.
But the Caymanian getting $10 and the foreigner getting 15.
Okay.
The one at the Caymanian train.
We got it. Thank you very much. All right, we got to get to this. Back in 20. Hold on here now. Back in 4 years ago. What year that was now? Oh Lord, the time just flying by. Back in 2019, we did a story on a young lady who was appeared in court for stealing $400 from her employer. This young lady, if we can call her that, has somehow managed to remain in the Cayman Islands under very suspicious circumstances. Now, this is one of those situations where I have to ask, why is the law not being applied in this situation? And what would be granting her, or who is a better question, would be granting her some sort of a special dispensation? Shall we say that? Special consideration. Because something isn't quite adding up here. Okay. Gonna show y'all exactly who I'm talking about. Hold on. Here we go. Let me bring this up. It is difficult to understand how someone has remained in the Cayman Islands after breaking numerous laws, breaking WRC laws, and they are still here while their special application after 4 years is being considered. Now, you see, y'all want to think that the problem is unique to the Cubans. And I'm going to show you an example here that at least with the Cubans, I can understand logically what is going on. But now I need you to talk to me about this young lady here and explain the logic behind the nonsense. Because I'm prepared to argue here that there's no logical reason why this woman has not been deported from the Cayman Islands as yet. Unless y'all prepared to tell me that she winding up on somebody this morning and somehow that has been an excuse to allow her to stay in this country. Okay? She stole from her employer. She's here on a work permit from Honduras. Stole from her employer. Obviously, they fired her. She got in trouble on numerous occasions with breaching immigration WRC laws, get caught working and don't even have a work permit. Immigration knows about this. Somebody say, I hear Alden is the reason. Could never be. Why is this person still in the Cayman Islands? This is but one example. Yeah? Of where the system clearly is broken and does not work. Because there are other people in her exact same situation. So she finally got an anchor baby because some fool Caymanian and had to go sleep with her, get her pregnant. So she has a Caymanian child. Yeah. And yet, there are still people who found themselves in this exact same situation, and they are sent home because you've broken the law one too many times. And that child, that anchor baby, is not going to save you. Yet in her case, she's been sitting back waiting for 4 years. She's been getting extensions for 4 years. Does she even have a lawful work permit? Is she permitted to work all this time? What do you think she's selling if she can't get a job? You see, this is what's going on. She wind up on somebody. It might not be him anymore, but she wind up on somebody else. Somebody says she's engaged to a police officer. I don't care if she was engaged to the governor. Something is wrong here. Since when does an engagement get you any special rights? Or he left his Cayman black wife for her, poor fool. What another sufferer. Okay, so what is going on? Because she got a man that's a police officer, she continues to get extensions that would not be granted to anybody else? Y'all need to wake up. This is a blatant abuse of the immigration system. Yes, she's been on time for 4 years. Show me who else been on time for 4 years other than the poor Cubans. Huh? Who gonna call in about her? Where's your hand? Is he gonna call in and say, well, this is wrong too? Can we hear a little hallelujah up in here? About how somebody can get all this time. I've never heard somebody getting time for 4 years. And her application can't be decided upon. What is the problem? They're giving her time to have a second, third, fourth, fifth anchor baby? Like, what's going on? Yes, Miss Darlene said, what, 4 years? 4 years. Y'all better be lucky at only 1025. Because what in the tarnation is going on here? Y'all see it? She's a thief. She works outside the terms of her work permit, don't have no regard for immigration laws, and yet this is who we want to keep in the Cayman Islands. Caller, good morning.
Morning again, Anna. Yeah, you see when I say, and I keep saying corruption and hypocrisy and stuff. I hope the people learn. I'm not learning today, you know. People gotta realize when I talk, I'm the leader of the choir. I'm not just learning this today and guessing and throwing words or they're throwing stone, you know. When I talk, it don't sound like fact, but it's fact. So what you saying there now was the same thing when I say the whole thing is corrupted, the whole immigration system, the whole work system is corrupted. That's what we got to deal with. We got to deal with the root of that. That is the only problem we got here. Incompetence and corruption. That's the only problem we have. So when people hear me and call me a fool and all that, let them go and call me a fool. They were calling what he named Noah, they were calling Noah a fool too. Right? That's what they were doing, right? They were calling Noah a fool. So you make them learn. You make them learn to sing it when they sing to the choir. I'm the leader of the choir. And I'm just guessing this thing out now. So that's good what you telling them. That's exactly what's going on. That's good. That's good. Exactly what's going on.
What do you think is going on here? Why is she getting all these extensions?
Well, you said it. She riding somebody. It's corruption.
I mean,
or
she riding something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's it's simple as that. Don't make no more sense of it. That's all it is. It isn't nothing more. It's not a mystery behind it or not a secret. That's all. It's simple as that. It is simple as that.
Well, she better put on her cowgirl hat because this must be some serious riding going on around
not
here.
somebody, it's someone's. Okay, put a S on to that one. It's someone's. Yeah. Okay then. All right. And I'm not judging. I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying.
Yes. Because when you not got no skills, you gotta be prepared to sell something.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. So just let the people realize that when I talk, I'm not talking foolishness. I coming from facts. Whether you agree with me or not, what I say, I'm talking facts.
Thank you, my dear.
All right. Thank you.
What a hot mess. I tell you, what a hot mess. Well, I don't know what kind of cowboy business this is. Cause man, you gotta be riding hard to be here for 4 years on time. Cause I not seen that one yet. And there's a lot of people asking how on earth, how is this possible? What, right? No, sir. Anybody has a logical explanation other than being an excellent cowgirl and riding the whole town? Can somebody please explain to me what is going on here? What incarnation is happening here this morning? I mean, come on now. Help me. I'm happy to learn and understand. Good morning. Oh, Lord. Hello? Caller? You got to turn down your radio in the background. Learn and understand. Good morning. Oh. Hello?
I'm on air?
Yes.
No, I got a message about the situation. No, but just to let you know, she's been here more than 4 years. About 8 years she's been here.
I'm saying she's been on time for 4 years where they were supposed to deport her behind. I know she's been here longer than that.
She's been here longer than that, and she don't got one child. She has more than one child.
Well, she got one anchor baby. She might have more than one, but the one that she trying to use to keep her in Cayman, I understand is one. But of course,
she flies off the rest of them to go back home.
It's 10:30. It's 10:30, folks. So we're gonna say goodbye to. Hold on 1 second, honey. We gonna say goodbye to our radio listeners, and now it's overtime, and we gonna turn up a little bit. Because we got some serious questions. Radio listeners, tune in to the after show. You can find us on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook right now. We got to talk about cowboy riding into the sunset. Y'all have a good day. Yeah. Yes, honey child, that radio link cut off. Now, tell me what the fuck going on here. What the hell is this?
She's been here over a long time because my daughter's almost 10.
So let me tell you who the hell. Tell me something. Who she's screwing up in government? So
look, I don't know, but she always change up her name. Her last name was Foster's one time. Now it Kirkconnell, and then it Tibbetts. It always change up.
So she changed it how? She changed it how?
She changes her last name. Whoever she's screwing. Whoever she's
screwing. She just changed the last name without a marriage. That can't be. I mean, she got to be screwing somebody, but I'm just saying. What the hell?
But she sends her children them back home. She's been here long.
She sends them back home.
Yep.
Well, apparently she got an anchor baby now that she's trying to use to stay Cayman, because some fool Cayman and had to go breed her because, our people don't have no sense. They're not going to breed nothing sensible.
Pretty face and no sense.
Yes.
Can't speak English.
Oh my God. So what a mess. So anybody, CBC, can y'all please tell me how this woman is staying in Cayman? Whose pee-pee she riding? I mean, come on now. This is absolutely ridiculous. I gotta ask the question because I gotta be honest with you. 2 + 2 not equaling 4 today. The math ain't mathin'. Something is awry in this whole formula of a situation. What the heck is going on? Wow. I don't know. I'm shocked and surprised. And I want to know for 4 years who been taking care of her, because she can't work legally and you keep leaving her in time. All you're doing, in fact, is encouraging prostitution. I'm just saying. What do y'all think she gonna be doing if she can't work? She gotta get paid to do something. How is she feeding herself? They're not giving her a $160 voucher to get food. Good morning, caller.
Hello. Good morning again, ma'am.
Yes,
you want to see how far she leave, Cayman? Go by immigration, you see how far she leave.
Well,
you will see for yourself. Thank you, ma'am.
I don't know, boy. No, sir. How fast she leaves? She gonna leave now? Can we expect her to leave now? We'll help buy her a ticket back to Honduras. I mean, We can put together a few little dollars. We not got too much money around, yeah. But I'm just saying, you know, we could potentially help. What a mess. Wow. Lord Jesus. What a hot mess. Oh my God. Wow. I don't know. I'm at a loss. What they say, it's sweet, it's sweet, it's sweet. Pom pom sweet. And yet, the last time I am aware of our immigration forms and the reasons that you can stay and remain in the Cayman Islands, pom pom wasn't listed on that form, huh? I don't think so. PP wasn't listed there either. Penis wasn't on the form. So you can't say, you know, what skills are you bringing? What's the reason for an extension? I know one thing. It never said, pum off the chart, pum pum. It wasn't say I can bend over backwards and do a split in the bedroom. That was not part of the application process. Hot crotch wasn't on there. So I don't care if she's screwing all of you up in CBC from the top straight down to the bottom, or WRC, or whoever's giving her extensions. Why is this woman in Cayman? Please explain to me. I need an explanation from the powers that be. Any MPs listening, or are they trying to now get her digits? They probably call in CBC saying, hey, can you give me her phone number? I'll make her stay another 4 years. No. This not gonna work. So sorry. How does she pay for the extension of immigration if she's not working? This is not good. Paying for the extension would be the least of her worries, honey child. I want to know how she paying to live, because Cayman's an expensive place. Housing, food, birth control, because she needs to stop having children now by the sounds of it. How is any of this stuff being paid for? Health care? She's on time. What happens if she gets sick and she dropped down? Then what? No, sir. Somebody said they have a revised form. Use up crotches on it. She probably riding some of them PPs up in CBC or WRC. They love to share and pass around. Oh yeah, especially with the Spanish women. I mean, them officers, they gotta do better. Some of them just so nasty. They can't even bring in a fresh piece of meat for themselves. They just shares it around. That's a whole thing in Cayman, you know. You know how many Caymanian men love to share a crotch? Oh my God. They can't even be original. No, sir. You guys have no idea. And then they be out there bragging about it. I know a couple of MPs in the mix. And they're so stupid because the women taking pictures of their small penises and videos and then circulating it to other MPs because that one wouldn't give her a boob job. So this particular Spaniard wanted to get breast enhancement because God never blessed her with that either. Okay. And so, you know, they got to get everything fake when they're ready. Listen to me. Even the very pum pum fake, you know, you can't believe it that real either. They got to go and get that stitch back up because that'd be so used out. I'm just telling you God's truth. You know, it's called vajayjay rejuvenation, vaginal rejuvenation. It's a thing that's been stretched out. So they need money to pay for these things. And this one, she wanted a boob job. And a certain MP, PPM member, that's all I can say, wouldn't pay for it. So then she was trying to blackmail him during the last election and was sending around pictures of his teeny weeny penis. Them Georgetowners, poor them. And had a video of it too. And was sending it around to his the people running against him, because then she was trying to get in bed with them so they could buy her the boob job. Good morning, caller.
Miss Sandra, please stop that, ma'am. Stop that.
But I'm telling the truth.
I know, but
you can't take it this morning. But I'm telling you, this is a true story. This is what happened. I've seen the pictures with my own 2 eyes. That I can tell you it's small, you know? Oh. I'm just saying.
Stop that, Miss Sandra. Stop that, please.
Aye, poor Georgetown and suffers. And trust me, it not exclusive to Georgetown. Don't make no difference where you from. Poor Caymanians. What a bunch of sufferers. Anyway, honey child, I'm just telling y'all
Have a
how the
good day,
story
man.
went. You too. That is how the story, that's how it went. Because like I said, I didn't get an opportunity to see the video, and I kept telling them, please send me the video because I want the video, because y'all would have known the last election would have really turned up if I had that video. But they would only send me the photo. And I was like, I don't want to see no photo. First of all, I need to do a proper investigation now because, you know, this the thing so small. I need to make sure that this is who they're claiming it is, because I've never seen it in my life. Mind you now, if the wife saw it, I suspect that she would know, because she would know the tiles in her own bathroom and what that looked like and what her husband's hands look like. I mean, I've never looked at his hands that closely. But I'm just saying, the evidence would have been there. Oh, Jesus. Why was she fired? Well, she was fired not selling front, but stealing a $400 TV. Let me refresh your memories on the first time she made it on CMR. Here you know. Sales clerk sentencing postponed for $400 theft. So what her name is, Daria Lynn Kirkernel Bankston. She was 32 at the time. Appeared in court back in September 25th of 2019 for sentencing after admitting to stealing $400 from her former employer, Price Right, in August of 2018. It was disclosed that Kirkernel Bankston did a return. She thinks she's smart. Now, you know, them Fosters fix her behind. She did a return for a $400 TV. This is how desperate she is for money. I mean, she's selling her front, but she don't look like she's getting a good price of it. If you still got turned on and steal $400 from the Kirkernels. Anyway, she did a return on a 40-inch TCL TV, not even a real name brand, and pocketed the $399.99 for herself from the cash drawer. Poor her. So that's the foolishness that she was up to, honey child. And she's still in Cayman all these years later, on time. Wow. Jeremy Scott is head of WRC. Mr. Jeremy, can we please get some sort of an explanation on this situation? Wagwan, tell me. Huh. Needless to Sandy, you know, see how pretty she is. Some man or men paying her living expenses. She's not that pretty. I mean, she, you know, I guess all right looking, but been a business with none of that. But according to these men, honey child, it be sweet, it's sweet, it's sweet. She's paying with nature's credit card, says Marshall. Oh God. Speaking of nature's credit card, we're in after time now. Adults only. Do y'all remember a certain government? How these people can get government jobs with their ridiculousness? You know that we have had some of the worst people in the history of the universe work for government and get government jobs. Y'all talking about Caymanians can't get work? What y'all need to figure out is why the people who get the high-ranking jobs up in government are not deserving of them. Well, I'm not calling no names, but I'm going to call some names. Remember the expose that we did on Cineco? Where they even had, this one was done in October of 2018. Oh, honey child, CMR been bad from day one. Lord Jesus, please take the wheel. Y'all remember this story? Oh my God, go back and read it. Because it is very, very long. And there's a lot to unpack in it. Gosh, it was like a friggin' novel. It's a proper investigative piece. But what I will tell you is, are people even retrofit their offices with showers and a calling couch up in there so that they can be booning down the place while at work and have a nice, refreshing shower after it's all said and done. Yep. That what was going on up in there too? I mean, geez, peace. No, sir. That is where it was back in the day. Oh my God. One hot mess of a situation up in there. Our own people. We can't blame nobody else for this. Caymanians. Yeah. Why I just thought of this case is when somebody talking about that's Nature's credit card. There was actually a credit card. There was actually a photo. Y'all are so messy. Right? There was an actual photo of this situation with him having a credit card, like literally swiping it on the woman's vajayjay. Not a word of lie. I might still have the picture. I'd have to go and look and see. I'm like, how y'all do stuff like this and keep high-ranking government jobs? Like, whoa. Yep. At least he know that he was paying for it. He was like, cha-ching, cha-ching. See the credit card there? Swipe it right between her. You know what? I was like, oh my God. Y'all are just ridiculous. And it's no wonder we can't get the real issues fixed. While y'all complaining about detention center and spending money and this and that, this is the foolishness that is happening that everybody has to pay for and that's causing all sorts of issues in this country. And we can't address the real problems that we need to get addressed. It's because of situations like this. Y'all want to talk about wasting of money? Why you don't talk about that situation? That is the worst waste of money in the world. Putting in a shower so you can have your little situations at work. And then have a refreshing shower. There's no reason for you to be showering at work. Take your backside home now and have a proper bath. But you can't go home because the wife is at home. But y'all talking about, well, we not got the money. We not got the money to build a proper detention center. Y'all not got the money because for far too long, the money that you do have is being spent and wasted on foolishness like this. On buying Honduran pom pom and wherever else they can find it from. Because now they brings it in from everywhere. The Philippines, all over the place. And this, folks, would be your government workers, senior management up in government doing stuff like this. I'm just saying, don't y'all have me pull out that credit card picture. What a hot mess. Ay. They say this person said we can't talk what we don't know. Well, this is it. And this is why CMR is committed to keeping y'all informed. Whether you want to know it or not, we can just tell you the cold hard truth, and it is what it is. That's how I see it. Yes. But some of y'all know and still want to remain in the dark and don't want to really talk about the real issues in this country. Yep. And you be finding excuses for these people. Well, yeah, but he doing it, but he not the only one. Oh, yeah, that one doing it too. I know, Sandy, but who else? They all does it. No excuse. That is not an excuse. Anyway, this is one that I'm pressing for an answer for today. If anybody has an answer for me, do let me know. Strong Wilt says that's called pum pum pension. I believe you, honey, child. And that's a special kind of pension too. Not a regular pension. You cashing in on that pension right away. You get the pum pum, you get the benefits. Pension, you got to wait 50 years later. And then they're nickel and diming you on it. Not with this kind of pum pum pension, different. Stephanie says it is against my religion to go outside of West Bay. No, sir. Corvin, try and behave yourself. Desert Rose says even if she has an application pending that works, normally CBC would make them wait off island. I don't know. Somebody to the sea says, careful, Marlon, not take you off the soapbox knowing what you did watching. No, sir. Yes, tell Corbin behave with his badness. Time longer than rope, says Marshall. Oh, did I say Jeremy was CBC? My apologies. Jeremy's WORC. So who's responsible for giving her time? Is it WORC that would be giving her time? I'm just saying. I wonder if I still can't find that credit card picture. Oh, God. What a mess. You know, it might be around the place that's somewhere about. I'm not too sure. What year that would have been now? What year was that? 2019? 2018? What year was this story again? 2018, October 2018. Let me see. I don't think I go back that far in this. Yeah, man, yep, not there. But I bet you I got that picture somewhere about, Oh, Lord, Sandy, what are you doing here today? Oh, my God. Can I go back that far? 2022, 2021, 2020. I might be able to find it. Anyway, 2020. No, I can't find it. What happened? This only going back to June of 2015. We'll have to see. Anyway, honey, chilling. I know I saw it with my own two eyes. That's all I can tell you. Stephanie says my son wants to watch a show with me. No, not until he's 18. Tell him this adult conversation now. Everton says the same thing in business. It's all who you know will get you your contracts and get you big money. I mean, my gosh, we Neela says facts, government employs a lot of unemployables so that they can join the corruption and be silent about it. Romelia says, isn't it time more expensive per extension, $25, $50? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you get 4 years worth of extensions. What do you think she's paying per extension now? I don't know. These are all very, very good questions that, quite frankly, I just don't have the answer to. I wish I could tell you that I had the answer, but I have no clue. I am clueless about how you get 4 years worth of time. That's a first for me. It really and truly is. I've never heard of such a conundrum in my life. But there you go. We're doing all kind of foolishness. Corvin says, boom, boom on demand. I hope the card was an American Express. No, honey child. It's not like American Express black card. Nope. Next up in Finance Committee, the government Pum Pum Fund. For corruption to succeed and continue, there has to be a conspiracy. Well, not a conspiracy even, Mr. Dean. There has to be silence and people turning a blind eye to this kind of foolishness. That unfortunately is what is going on. A lot of people are aware of these things, but nobody is talking about it. So unfortunately, that's the issue. So CBC now gives time? Oh my God. There's a couple people up in CBC that have a reputation. I'm just saying. Wow. It could be any of them. Everton says, I'm so glad I'm not living in your country. Well, I reckon it's happening in America too. I mean, look, you got a president who was bribing people. He's on trial now for lying about a bribe that he gave to a porn star. The pum pum wasn't free there either. I mean, he paid. How much did he bribe her to keep quiet? You see? Miss Amelia said, I must behave. So WRC approves it and CBC more likely acknowledges them. Who gives time? Who is it that gives time? Because CBC has some people there, like I said, that got a hell of a reputation. And I mean senior team, you know. Can you do an FOI on the receipt payment for all her extensions? No, that's not, you can't, that would be considered an exemption, like private information to her. So they wouldn't do that. So it's a CBC matter. She can't work as she would be deemed a visitor. Well, I got asked some of these. So CBC is responsible for extension. Well, I got asked some of them today. Which I got send them a screenshot and say, which one of you at CBC is screwing her to give her 4 years worth of extension? And I don't want y'all calling me, telling me no conquer me, Miss Story. Just come clean. Auntie just wants the truth from you now. Somebody say, riding cowgirl, I just busted my stitches from 5 years ago. You're sure that mean picnic not out? Then try and behave. This person says, but look at all the stealing Tasha did and got PR. Y'all system ridiculous. Sugar daddy with a trust fund. They want you go out there and do police. They want you to go into it. What is her name again? Let me check something. Hold on. If you can find out, definitely let me know. Hold on. She got one strange name. Hold on. Her name is Bankston. But somebody said she keeps changing her name. So this was a name back in 2019. I can't tell you now what it is currently. I don't know how she would be able to keep changing her name if she's not getting married. This person says she's engaged a police officer. He left his Cayman wife for her. Dale is his first name. Lord, what a mess. Why doesn't the little old lady, what does the little old lady from West Bay? What? Why does the little old lady have to do from West Bay? She's selling fish, damn it. Nothing but fish. Oh my God. She's a kept community whore, says this one. I've said it a million times. The Cayman Islands operates on double standards. Somebody sipping their tea saying, look, yeah, I'm patiently waiting at the start of the show. Good morning, Auntie Sandy. Hope all is well. Kenneth Bryan has set up an aid relief to help Rotan with their hospital. Okay. The NICE program is responsible for giving temporary jobs, and based by a good performance, he or she can get a full-time job if they apply and ask the person that is supervising. But most supervisors have given up because of the disrespect from the workers. Planning department is getting big under-table checks to get these big high-end developments to build. What does Ron say? Johan not calling to protest this. CBC is corrupt. Who you get the officer is corrupt when you get the officers sleeping with each other and marrying Honduran woman to keep them on island. Well, I'll be damned. Like, what next? And y'all worried about the expats infiltrating us? Are y'all sure that that's where the problem lies, when our people seem to be the problem from the inside? Thank you, Desert Rose. I've clarified that you're absolutely right. It would be CBC. Well, they're a hot mess over there. I've heard a few situations with those CBC men. Wow. First Lady, good morning. One thing about you, Miss Sandy, you're going to call it as it is. I mean to tell you. Thank God for overtime. Clinton paid $130,000. Yes, sir. CBC, hello. 4 years worth of extension. How much pum pum do you have to pay for that? What's the price in pum pum dollars, please? Is that like once a week, once a month? What gives you a 4-year extension? I'm just curious. Pelt the rock in the pig pen and listen, says Symphonies of the Sea. Sandy, you think that they're going to tell you that? Hell to the no, says Strong Will. Maybe she got a good cat. Something gonna be good. I don't know if it's a cat or something else, but whatever. Something. Neela says, and Kenneth didn't set up a relief fund for Cayman suffering on islands. Some of them have nowhere to live. Well, let's call NAU. NAU is the biggest relief fund on this island, so don't worry. Y'all covered. Trust and believe. All right, folks. Once a week? You think that's enough for an extension for 4 years? Once a week. They're getting it pretty cheap if that's the case. What a mess. Oh, so tomorrow, please tune in. This person said you made me choke on my breakfast with all of that after talk. That's what I hear a certain Cayman teacher did at the Bodden Town School, getting a private bathroom with showers installed. A Caymanian teacher at the Bodden Town School. Oh my God. What the hell? No, sir. So tomorrow we need to talk about a case of another teacher, another principal or somebody at Savannah Primary School actually kicking a child, 5-year-old. Morning, caller.
Morning, Sunday. Just to remind you about the Gangsters talk.
Oh, yeah, I have to circle around to that one tomorrow.
Good while now. We want to know what's going on again. Give us an update.
We're going to talk about that one tomorrow.
All right, then.
All right.
Thank you.
And tomorrow, remind me, please, to tell you all about this 5-year-old who was allegedly assaulted. The MASH unit is on the investigation. Once again, the police don't never tell us nothing about these cases. But a teacher has put her foot on the back of a child, 5-year-old, is what I have heard. Lord, please. Let's say, hello. Let's say a community prayer this morning. Miss Ramelia, you're still here. Can we please pray? Everybody hold virtual hands and say, dear God, please don't let anybody, no teacher, ever put this stinking MF foot on Miss Sandy's child, because I'm going to have to beat them that day. Amen and hallelujah. Why do y'all keep kicking people and touching people's children for a 5-year-old? I would box you down without listen to me. Seriously. These people are sick. Who does that to a little child? It's like they don't know how to control children because they're horrible teachers. They're not skilled at anything. All they want to do is exorcisms. And our government, up in the ministry, in the department, keep hiring these particular religious zealots that are idiots in truth. And then when they can't control your children, they're going to take their foot to their children. Jesus, please, 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 don't ever make that happen. Because I can tell you from now, I would beat the shit out of that teacher. It would be her foot versus my foot, and we're going to have to see how that going to work out for her. What the hell is wrong with these people? Anyway, I'm going to give y'all the full scoop on that story tomorrow. Somebody said I would F them up. You better believe it. I died trying. You're not going to be touching my child like that. What the hell? We did send something to the police. And of course, they not respond yet. Still waiting on them so we can put up the story because they've not said anything. But I got to put it up whether they say anything or not, because this is what they be doing, trying to hide stuff from y'all parents. Somebody said, oh my God, I have a grandchild that goes to, y'all better wake up. Pay attention to who the minister is hiring to be around your children. No good people. No 5-year-old, poor thing. Kicking a child in the damn back. You mustn't want kicking your fucking head. That what you want? Why y'all let people abuse your children? Anyway, Somebody say, yeah, my child, they're going to take me straight Fairbanks. Well, they're not taking me Fairbanks because it's going to be called self-defense. You touch my child, I'm going to touch you, and it is self-defense. That's what it is. So I'm not going to fucking Fairbanks. You better get that story straight. But you're not going to be touching my child. That's what I tell y'all. The one thing that, I mean, I'm not in favor of selling pum pum by any stretch of the imagination, but some of y'all might need to sell it for what it's worth, which is your children getting in good schools and having a better chance at a good education. Y'all be selling it to go to the salon, get fake nails and all kind of foolishness. Don't sell your pum pum for that. Sell your pum pum to put your children in a good school and help them to get out of the cycle that we're in as Caymanians. That is, I think, worth selling your pum pum for. Like I said, I don't advocate it, but y'all doing it anyway. You're just doing it for all the wrong reasons. Okay? So if we're going to have this pum pum club, what's this? Marshall says, what's the exchange rate for pum pum in Cayman dollars? I don't know. Whoremongering border control policy, says Dean Shillette. Jesus Christ. No, son. I'm just saying, raise the value of it, whatever you're selling it for. Please, spend it on something worthwhile. Spend it on your children and their education and their well-being. No, I'm not saying to legalize prostitution. This ain't prostitution. This is just run-of-the-mill selling of the pum pum. Some of y'all calls it a relationship, to be very, very clear. Some of y'all can call, I'm in a relationship with what her name is, whatever the hell her name is. This one, yes, so her. Yes, that's my girlfriend. I'm in a relationship, but you're still paying for it. So try and find Caymanians. That's why I keep telling y'all, find a decent person who at least can be of some help to you in life. Y'all be picking up every riff-raff this side of the Mississippi. And they're not doing nothing for you. And then the couple of dollars that you get, you spending it on foolishness. Help the next generation, folks. That's all I'm saying. Invest in our futures. That would be worth the sacrifice, I think, of some of the foolishness that y'all be putting up with. Jim says not everybody's selling it. That's right, honey child. Ruff says I'm in for that when I need some more money. Lord Jesus. Go get a legitimate job. You can earn way more than any man can pay you if you know what you're doing with other things. All right, folks. That's all she wrote. Thank you for the mangoes yesterday, my little friend. They were delicious. I'm still working on them. Breadfruit season. The breadfruit was nice this morning. Thanks to Miss Stacy. Symphony of the Sea said, just give it away. God gave it to us. Lord Jesus. Don't give it away to anybody foolish either. I keep telling y'all, the formula is wrong. Oh, geez, I'm peace. What a mess. Anyway, thank you so much. Just a quick announcement. Miss Lavana, her father recently passed away, and they are having a candlelight vigil in his honor. I think that you guys will know that Mr. Lewis was, for 80 years, a part of the Georgetown community. So there's going to be on Friday, the 24th, a candlelight vigil at the South Sound Dock. Please bring your candle for Mr. Lewis Christian. I'll post this up on social media, but feel free also to reshare it. And we're going to continue to keep the family in our thoughts as they go through this very, very difficult time. Losing a loved one is difficult, and he was important, very, very important to them. No doubt they loved him very, very much. So again, please mark your calendars for Friday, the 24th of May, 7 p.m. at the South Sound Dock. Bring your candles. And he was a traditionalist, so dress in your best black and white and just look good. All right. No, and no. I'm reading your comments and the answer is no. Mediterranean doctor. Oh my gosh, saying that some of these teachers don't have a real passion for teaching your children, which is crucial for excellence in education. Shall we talk about that on Friday as well? Don't forget, y'all have homework for Friday. We have Miss Marla Dukran joining the show. Very, very pleased to have her as a guest. She's an amazing lady. And so please scan the barcode, go away and download her report and read it in advance of Friday's show so that we can be educated, we can represent. She's originally from Trinidad. She's a Caribbean economist and advisor. You guys can show her what smart people we are, and we know our issues. Now we got to just try and find some solutions to those problems. Okay, so come prepared to class on Friday. All right, folks, that's all she wrote. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we will see you back here on tomorrow morning, hopefully. Have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.